This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Well, what's going on? I guess the dogs are outside today. They're out there. My wife's building, she's doing this little path thing that she's been making, and they like to hang out there outside. Hey, thank you, Teresa Murray, right out of the gate. Thank you very much. Hey, Kami. Yeah, we were playing the Hart Family Coroner's Inquest from 2019 on my channel. That's a case that we covered from the very beginning when the Jennifer and Sarah Hart, the two wacko, not even sure what you call them, like fake liberals, I guess you call them. Like they wanted the outward appearance to be so new agey to everybody. Oh, look at us. We've adopted 6 minority children. We're so cool. Look how neat we are, everybody. Oh, this is how the world should be. And yeah, it'd be great if that's what your purpose was. But really what it was is so that you could get money from the state of Texas for each child. And they never even gave the kids any food, like just barely, where they ate all the time. Big fat pigs, you know, just chomping away every second, refrigerator filled with food, and all the kids were malnourished and small, tiny. And one day Devontae Hart, a famous kid who took a picture of the cop in Portland, he escapes the home, runs over and asks the neighbors for food, but if they could hide the food over here so I could give them food. I mean, it makes you like I get sort of emotional thinking about it. Like just thinking how hungry they were. And then that neighbor gave them the food, but then they called CPS, and then CPS left a note on the door, and then Sarah Hart saw it, and then Jennifer came rushing home and then all the kids were put into a van and they were drove into California where they were all given Benadryl and driven off a cliff. What do you think of that? Huh? I think Devontae Hart was killed somewhere else. But anyways, we got the second part coming up tomorrow. And the second part actually goes into like where they went and stuff like that. A little bit more interesting. And here we are, day number 2 of the month, everybody. So if you'd like to help support the Grant Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, allows me to keep doing the shows, but it also allows us to do the really amazing work of donating. We've given $168,100 to true crime related charities over the last 3.5 years from the income from the channel. So it's funny how people criticize that, where if you thought, well, if I didn't do my show, there would be not $168,000. Yeah. So anyways, you guys, like I always say, I'll probably say it again during the show, you guys are the only source of income. Every once in a while, live stream gets monetized. I guess last night was, but, you know, the ad revenue on a show like that's like $50 or something. So so every once in a while they're monetized. It was amazing last night because I threw all the buzzwords in there. You know, I threw out like murder and suicide. I said all the words over and over and over again, but YouTube automatically monetized it. So I think you guys can stop saying unalived, okay? Hello? You don't need to keep saying unalived. It's embarrassing. All right. Anyways, so yeah, so what happened on this channel? The freaks support the channel every single night because I do shows every single night. And that's really about the only way to do what we do here. Okay, so I do them every single night, and it's it's fun hanging out, doing stuff. But the only way to make it happen is if you just kind of pretend that you're at a restaurant and you're tipping somebody, right? That's it. Now, if I had 1,000 members at 10 something or $15, then I wouldn't ever worry about it ever again, right? But there's really no way with the memberships. I have $1.99. Everyone just clicks on immediately, and I sort of blew it by having that really low one on there. No, those have been there a long time, Cindy. Yeah, very long time. I guess you just weren't paying attention. So today I thought we'd talk about there's some DNA crazy stuff out there. Now, people are saying that, what is it, the FBI, tailored all the information to lead to Kohberger. And that's just absolutely bullshit, okay? That's not how it works. Complete crap. Because if you're claiming that, then that means you're saying they planted the DNA on the knife sheath, right? That's what you're really saying when you say that. So you got to be pretty careful when you're saying that, because that's how it leads backwards to that. You can't tailor something without it being and not being there, and then you sort of put it there. That's not how it worked. Okay, didn't work at all like that. Yeah, so if you aren't aware of how it works, I mean, I've gone over this many times. I got an email today explaining it again. I'm like, yeah, I've said it like 4,000 times. So so the way it works is, let's just throw out an example. Law enforcement, Jane or John Doe or an unknown DNA sample. Currently, when a criminal gets arrested, their DNA sample gets put into CODIS. But let's say there's a sample found at a crime scene. Blood, semen, touch DNA on a really important piece of information. And that information will be put into CODIS as well, because they're looking to see if they can find a match to the suspect. And once there isn't a suspect, they might try other traditional techniques of investigation. And when all else fails, but I think they should actually have FGG be the first thing that they do. It's just such a waste of time to do all the other stuff first. So, they get a hold of a forensic genealogist. Now, guess what, everybody? Despite what some of these lunatics think out there are forensic genetic genealogists that work at the police department. That's their job there. They're actually a state employee. And there's some that work for the FBI, and then there's also private labs that do it. Okay, it doesn't matter at all who's doing it. Okay? So, anyways, you might get a hold of somebody that does FGG. Then, forensic genetic genealogists, first you have to procure a DNA sequence that's compatible with the the databases out there. And there's a software program called bioinformatics that takes the sample and then it creates a file that you're able to upload to GEDmatch or Family Tree DNA. Now, there is another website called MyHeritage, which is more like 23andMe and Ancestry. It's not a public database like those are used for. And they allow raw data to be uploaded there. And that's where one of the sort of tricks by some of these people are done. So what happens is, after a forensic genealogist does their magic using all kinds of different things, newspapers.com, and Ancestry, 23andMe, all those different places, usually just Ancestry.com, they use those, and they develop what's called a lead. Okay? That's what it is, a lead. This DNA sample using forensic genetic genealogy led to this person, or it could sometimes be siblings or something. Or it might even be, we know it's in this family line, and then law enforcement needs to go out and communicate with different people in the line and say, do you mind if we give a DNA sample that you can upload to? And a lot of times they'll say yes, right? They do that. And then you also investigate, does this person make sense? You know, for example, it came up to Bryan Kohberger. Oh, wow, he's from Pennsylvania. Oh, whoa, but he lived in Moscow, Idaho. Whoa, that makes sense. Or not Moscow, in Pullman, Washington. So then it made sense, right? And then, so they're doing all this, you know, the forensic genetic genealogy, and they give law enforcement a name. Then they start investigating, does it make sense? And what they do is then they don't have to get a warrant to sort of clandestinely capture a DNA sample from somebody. Thanks, Kami. My pitch didn't really work at all, but thank you very much. So they'll go around and they'll wait for the person to throw away a bottle or a piece of gum or you know, just anything at all, really. Like they want to get them maybe at a restaurant where they can kind of monitor and go, oh, there you go. He threw the bottle in there. Grab it. Garbage can makes it sort of hard, but you grab the bottle or the known sample that you know that the person just threw away. Then you get DNA off of that and you compare it to the known DNA sample. And if that's a match, that's usually enough for a judge to sign an arrest warrant. Then you arrest the individual, and so after you arrest the individual, you also, now you have a warrant, and you're able to get a swab, a buccal swab from the actual person. So this is now, it's a controlled environment. All the other things led you to this. You've made the arrest. Then you take a buccal swab and you get the DNA off of the buccal swab, and then you compare it directly again to the sample sequence, not CODIS, but the sample sequence again. And then once it's a match there, then it's game over, right? It's toast. That means your DNA is the DNA sample. And that's what they did here in the Bryan Kohberger case. Right? So I'm not sure. I don't. There's people out there that are making videos that are completely trashing the whole system. Like there's something wrong with how the FBI was in on the case and how they were working with the police department. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, one person out there said that they just tried to make the DNA match. I'm not okay with it. It's just you're full of shit is what you are. Okay? They got the DNA sample off the sheet. Their own internal, I think first they used Othram Labs, right? And then either Othram wasn't able to find something, or the FBI just said, okay, we'll take it from here once the sequence was uploaded. And they took it from there. Thanks, Connie Lowe, for becoming a member. Huh? Then why all the wasted time on investigating the... What? That didn't make any sense, Grunger. Your comment made absolutely zero sense at all. It was almost almost laughable, I gotta be honest with you. Wow. Let's see. Listen to this comment, everybody. If the buccal swab is a solid match, then why all the wasted time on investigating the IgG process? Because that's what led to them knowing it was him. But what do you mean? That's how they got the buccal swab. It was through the FGG or IgG process, or it's actually FGG, forensic genetic genealogy. That didn't make any sense. Hey, thank you, Kathy Freidenmaker. How many times can a sample be tested? What do you mean? Why do you need to keep testing a sample once you got the sample? You already got the sequence. But yeah, I mean, sometimes when you have a little tiny droplet of blood, and you break it off and you send it somewhere and it doesn't work there, then you have a little bit left and a little bit more, little left and a little left. I'm not sure what you mean by how many times can a sample be tested? Why would you need to test it again? Thank you, Kathy Friday Maker. Do you understand? Does everybody get how this works? It's really, really simple. So here's how it worked in Bryan Kohberger's case. I think the father was what got the arrest warrant, though. So here's how it worked in Bryan Kohberger's case. Want to hear this really quick? They found the knife sheath. There could have been mixed blood. We don't really know. But the only single source piece of DNA that they found on the knife sheath itself, under the button, was a unknown at the time. So then they deployed rapid forensic genetic genealogy on it. It led to a lead to an individual named Bryan Kohberger. They followed him around. Then they took some of the garbage at Bryan Kohberger's house out, and it turns out it was the father of Bryan Kohberger. And Bryan Kohberger is the person who lives in Pullman, Washington, and that was enough for an arrest warrant. Once an arrest warrant was made, they swabbed Bryan Kohberger's gums and got a sample that matched to 5.37 octillion to 1 that it is somebody else, because they compared Bryan Kohberger's direct DNA to the DNA on the bottom of that button, and it was that type of a match. Unbelievable, right? Oh, Literate Inc. I gotta put you on timeout right at the beginning of the show. God, that's tough, man. That's tough. Yeah. Huh? Does that make sense, everybody? Were you paying attention right there? Because I don't think I can say it more simply. It's the easiest. It's such a simple concept. There's nothing confusing or difficult about it. Thank you, Simply Me. Yeah, it's mind-boggling, you guys. What people try to make out of things. You know, you got these. I think what it is it's vogue to be sort of Kohberger's innocent, man. Look at this shady shit they're doing. Right. You want to hear something crazy? So the way this is what the defense is trying to do right here. See, My Heritage is the name of the other sort of bigger publicly. It's not one of the databases where you can do like research, like, well, I started to explain, but the same way that GEDmatch and Family Tree DNA are used, My Heritage is just like 23andMe and Ancestry.com. They're a site like that. However, they do have a difference. They allow the raw data to be uploaded there. So you could get somebody, if you got bioinformatics a file and you upload it onto there, you'd have access to a much larger database, even though that's not what you're supposed to use it for. It's not illegal or anything. So somebody gets a lead, and it turned out it was Kohberger. And then when they swabbed him, his DNA matched the swab underneath the button 100%. So what they're trying to do is get it thrown out like the fruit from a forbidden tree scenario. Well, you can't show us how you got there. Well, who cares now? You know, like, here's the thing. Why does it matter now? I guess you could say, well, we think, because what they're really trying to let you believe, the defense wants you to believe that the DNA was planted by law enforcement on the knife sheath. Because other than that, seeing how you got there, oh, you use My Heritage. We're not denying he had his finger, he touched the knife sheath. We're not denying that whatsoever, everybody. But man, how you got there just wasn't right. So we think the judge should throw this all out. Okay? Well, it's him. It matched 100%. He wasn't your op, okay? God, you guys are nut jobs. It's just unbelievable. I remember when they questioned one of the OJ jurors about the DNA, and he said that only proved that we all got blood. My heritage is a good UK and Euro database. I was able to find a cousin on there. Okay, yeah. Well, that sounds about right, Stargirl. We've already gone over that. I even showed the chart on Centimorgan. Here, I'll show it again. So when you go to use a place like GEDmatch, when you get back your matches, there's no names or anything. It's just kind of email addresses, and you have to sort of sleuth those out. Yeah, so here's the, like a, hold on. So when you're doing the FGG work on GEDmatch, when you upload your raw data on there, it comes back with how the centimorgan counts. So see right here where it says 0 to 90, half, second cousin, once removed. 62 to 469 could be half first cousin once removed. But like a parent is usually 2376 to 3720. You know, so there's a pretty wide range. I mean, 156 half first cousin. That's pretty low, 156 to 979. 979 is almost in like a half niece area here. But that's how you can kind of get an idea of what difficulty you might have is based on that centimorgan count. And you guys, we're having a slow start to the show tonight, so I would hate to be thrown in prison right off the get-go. That would suck. There was a couple things I wanted to look at too later. Was the, remember the first press conference right after the one that announced the arrest? I kind of wanted to watch it again just to see how things. It's been so long, like how similar things are. And you know what? Another thing that was interesting, I as they were going through doing updates, how things changed. I wonder if they got rid of some of their YouTube videos of updates because the defense will go, "Ooh, look how you said this on this day, and then you changed it." Well, yeah, because they're not really. When you're doing these things and you're updating people, you're not 100% on everything right off the get-go because everybody's demanding stuff. Nah, I wasn't being mean. But right now we're about 8% of a normal night, 25 minutes in. Let's see. If that, I think it's actually more like 5. That's why they're investigating, because they don't know exactly what. Right at the beginning, yeah. Now they do know, They still don't probably know exactly every little thing that happened in there, but they probably have a really good idea what happened inside the house. Thanks, Annabelle Stealth. Thanks, Kami. I don't know if this screen even has anything. Where is it? Right there? Oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go. $29.98 out of $250. Old Kohberger snuck in the house. Oh, Jesus. Boy, you're so interesting. You're so interesting. Thank you, your gypsy. Into this case, the more I say innocent. Now that just means your brain doesn't work correctly. Yeah, see, when you say, here's what we get. See, what Vonda said is, the more I get into this case, the more I say innocent. And the reason they say that is because when they say they're getting into the case, that means they don't know anything themselves, but what they've done is check out crazy-ass YouTube channels who peddle in absolute nonsense. Hey, thank you, Circa then, and Joel Sane. Yeah, no problem, Joel Sane. I mean, I just say it like it is, you know. I mean, just think about that. I mean, you guys don't need to say anything to what I just said. It's lunacy. The more you get into it, the more that you should think, oh man, this guy did it. But the problem is you tune into some place that goes on and on about, oh, it's this guy named Kopaka. He was a CIA agent who, they like took him out because, they took him out because they didn't want him to tell the truth about something. So what they did was, because he's the killer too, but he was also like a secret operator. So they wanted to pin it on somebody else so it wouldn't come back to Kopaka, a guy that was working for the government. So by God, we got... Don't you know how stupid that sounds? Like, this isn't Mission Impossible, for God's sakes. Hey, thanks, AC. A few bucks to one of the favorite channels. Oh, very cool, very cool. Yeah. So that's literally the theory, everybody. Watch this. Bryan Kohberger's a crazy person. He's the killer in the Idaho murder case, okay? He even has the same initials. It's weird. So then but he was also a secret operative. So it's like, wow, that doesn't make sense though. Yeah, so, wait, here's how we can make it make sense. Here's what we can do. Let's make him a secret agent for the government. And to hide him from, hide the public from knowing what he was up to, we're going to pin it on somebody else. So somebody go plant there's this really crazy guy that works over there. Everyone will believe it. Let's just put the DNA. That's what they believe, this kind of crap. Hey, thanks, Darcy Swanson. It's not Klopaka. I wasn't even talking to you about that. You said, the more I get into this case, the more I say innocent. Something's going on in this town of Moscow, and I can't wait for the truth to come out. Not only is he innocent, but he's a victim. You sound like a freaking lunatic, is what you sound like. And as a matter of fact, that you might need to check yourself into a facility presently. Or some people still think things about the chief or chef neighbor. Oh, chef neighbor, that was creepy. It actually really obsessed me. This tiny college town was devastated by this horrible, horrible crime, and now they have to put up with this crap too, instead of being allowed to heal. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? Absolutely wild. Oh yeah, don't forget the tunnels. But have you seen the tunnels, man? That's how they got in there. Got in where? What did they use the tunnels for? Well, of course they went into the murder. Well, there's no tunnels underneath their house. There's not even anywhere near the house. Oh well, it's something. It's got to be something. A tunnel. It sounds cool. It sounds awesome. Say tunnels 5 times fast, and it'll just make you believe it. Oh my God! Yes, that was. What is this one? No, not that one. There's a couple new documents that came out on their website here. It said, what is this? Yeah, down here. What was this all about? Bryan Kohberger, judge, issues warning to media at start of hearing on Idaho student murders. Quadruple stabbing suspect Bryan Kohberger's defense asked a court to compel more disclosure in a hearing on a series of key discovery requests in the University of Idaho student murders. Kohberger entered the courtroom just after 4:30 p.m. wearing a black suit. Guess what he did, though, you guys? Guess what? He smiled at somebody coming in. And that smile indicates he's absolutely innocent of this crime. Well, why do you...
Why do you say that, Gray?
Well, because what police officer would smile back if he was guilty?
That's a hell of a good point, Gray.
Well, no, it really wasn't. Hey, thanks, Tammy Morell. So thoroughly sick of Kohberger talk. Talk about beating a dead horse. Conviction, sentencing, execution next. Yep. I mean, maybe you could say I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm actually trying to, like, add some... What do you call it? Rational thinking to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't worry. We'll get back on to the our regularly scheduled programs. But I actually think I might do more of these. I'm just going to keep, every time there's some crazy theories, I'm going to put them, I'm just going to talk about them for a while, because it's better to have a counter to nonsense, don't you think? Yeah, it makes me, it's cathartic too. It's just such a heavy thing to, when you watch and somebody goes, "Great, did you see this?" and I go watch it and I'm just startled by, first of all, that somebody in the true crime community would put something like that out. Secondly, the enthusiasm of the viewers. I think that's the part that's scary. Yeah, Kohberger entered the courtroom just after 4:30 wearing black suit and tie. I'm not sure what this is. As he did in the last appearance, in stark contrast with the orange jail jumpsuit he wore in his first hearing. The 28-year-old criminology accused of butchering 4 undergrads in a 4 a.m. slashing on November 2022 is seeking several pieces of evidence that that prosecutors have not yet turned over to the defense. However, before addressing the motions, District Judge John Judge, I guess that guy was going to be a judge no matter what, right? I mean, if your last name is Judge, I think you're like predestined. Some questions regarding his revised gag order. Lawyer expects Bryan Kohberger prosecutors to be very aggressive, seeking death penalty. Bryan Kohberger enters the courtroom during a hearing Tuesday at Latah County Courthouse. He said cameras in Moscow needed to show a wide shot of the courtroom and not focus strictly on Kohberger if they are to maintain throughout the rest of the proceedings. Okay, so then Ann Taylor enters the courtroom for a hearing Tuesday at the Latah County Courthouse in Moscow. The materials Kohberger defense is seeking include training records for 3 investigators, phone records, and information on why the FBI expanded the range of model years of a white Hyundai Elantra. Well, you know what we should do is just look at that. Let's see. White. I mean, some people would say, okay, so let's say 2000 and what was the original, 11 or something? Let's see, profile here. Let's just see what for ourselves instead of us wondering. Okay, so there's one right there, right? So we'll just say that's a 2011 one, all right? Then let's do 2012. I'm putting these all together for you on the side here. There's one there. I think this might be interesting, right? So that was 2012 there. And 2013. Alright, there's 2000. I gotta get the same direction. Yeah, so maybe that one has a little bit more curve, I guess. Yeah, let me see if I don't know if I can flip this or not. Let's see. This is just on the fly, you guys. Can I just grab that and... Oh yeah, I can. Interesting. Alright. I can't see any of your comments if you're commenting. But what I'm doing is I'm going to get all the years here and then put them in order, and we'll just see what it looks like visually to us. 2014... I could just make him flip. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Flip horizontally. Oh, there we go. Alright. And I'm going to do 2015 was the right year, right? Okay. Why do they all face that direction? You know? Alright, well there you go everybody. They look pretty damn similar to me. So now when people say that, you can just tell them because they look exactly the same. I mean, there's like, even, I mean, this one's a little different. 2011 there, kind of curved up in the front, but the windows are pretty similar. This one has a little bit more bend up in the top there. This one has, you know, like 2015 looks more like 11 and 12 in the window. 13 and 14 have a flat situation going on there. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? See how this is 2015, 14, 13, 12, 11. That's not a great example of a profile there, but you can see that the back, how the window goes up a little bit there. See that? And then this one it goes up. That's 2015. I would say 2013 and 14, even though the car shape's the same, the windows don't have that little jog up like this one, and this one. So 11, 12, 15. Huh? Oh, there's a 4-door. What are you talking about? I didn't get anything mixed up. I typed in the year on each one of them. Gray, you got the 2 doors mixed with the 4 doors. Well, who cares? Just look at it. Yeah, there's these 2 years here have. Oh, are you saying the windows are different on if they're the 4-door? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, the top 2 are 2-door. What did Kohberger have? Did he have a single one or a double? Did he have a 2-door Elantra? I see what you're saying. Yeah, you don't need to keep explaining anything. Just tell me, what did Kohberger have? A 2-door or a 1-door? Hello? I'm guessing you had a 2-door. I guess we could see it in the when he got pulled over. Let's see. Since nobody's answering, I'll just look it up myself. Hold on. Yeah, right there. Hold on.
New video obtained tonight by ABC News shows the man accused of new video obtained tonight by ABC News
their
shows the
stupid
man
banner
accused of
covers
1
it,
month
Dan.
before the video shows him behind the wheel of his white Hyundai Elantra
Idiots.
with Pennsylvania plates. He was able to talk his way out of a traffic ticket, and the Washington State University police officer let him go.
Well, why type in 1-door with a question mark on it? You either know or you don't know.
Kind of put your vehicle on, please. The best, you know.
Looking in inner Pennsylvania. I am Officer Loangus. Stops being audio and video recorded.
To me,
A red light. You're sitting in the
you're letting me go.
until I really agree. There's 1 second. Officer Bryan. 202.
Come on, turn. Oh man, I can't tell because was that a dent or? Shit. Yeah, so this is what it looks like on there. Do you think does that look like another door handle right there? Or a dent? 'Cause it doesn't really stick out like that one. I don't know, man. Let me look at this other one when he gets pulled over. I can tell you better on this one.
Hello?
When he gets pulled over in Indiana and the guy walks by. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. That is a door handle. So on this one you can see, on that one you see that there's a handle there and a handle there. Hey, thanks Tony Engine Wah! Alright, so it's a 4-door, so let me get rid of on the thing that I have here, these 2 in the middle. So that's going to be 11, 12, 15, so it's 13, 14. So you're right on that. White Elantra. So maybe the windows are different on those. White Elantra, 4-door sedan, 2013. Side shot. Images. Okay, yeah, so those kind of go up the same way. See that? No, that's 2016. Where the hell's the 2013? So I guess that's one there. And it does do that, so...
Chewbacca?
Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Chewbacca! Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate it. See if we can get to that goal early. Image, effects. Range. Horizontal. Okay. Yeah. All right. So all of these so far have that little window where it goes up, and they look almost identical, really. I mean, other than the front's a little bit more curved on some of these, but yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. Let's see. Why? All right, I think it's over here. Let me switch it over to this 2000. I missed it. Lost it. Hyundai Elantra 2013 two-door. I did do two-door on that, right? Yeah. $11, $12, $14. Yeah. Wait, am I on 14? I was 15, 14. I'm on 14. That's what I'm supposed to be on. There you go. Yeah, see, that has that same look right there. Yeah, no wonder, right? All right, now we see them all. What do you guys think of that? So you got 10, 11, 12. Actually, what am I doing now? I think it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So those do really all have very similar looks to them. So when they changed it, why not? I mean, I don't understand why people... No, they needed to make it seem like it was Kohberger's. So they changed it to a later date because they realized he didn't have one. That's why they did it. Oh, Jesus. We're not keep it simp. I'm just shy. I want to, there's, you know, I haven't really ever done it where I look at 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and then see like how similar they look. I just didn't really care about it. All right, so I'm looking at it right now to show why law enforcement might have done that. It looks like for example, this one here and this one looked almost identical, right? I mean, same tires and everything. Now up here the tires aren't the same, but that's 11, 12. What was it originally? 2013? Wasn't that the original? So if you look at it like that, 2013, 14, and 15 are exactly the same. So anyways, that's all I'm going to do on that. That's kind of a boring thing there. Yeah, well, no, I'm not. It's not wasting my time. I've never looked at it myself. Okay, what I don't need is your input telling me what's cool to do on the show or why I'm doing this or anything. Just let me do what I want, and if you don't like it, you can go watch something else. It's that simple. It's really easy. Hey, thanks, Tumbleweed. Wow, very cool. A cat eye.
Moderate and listen. As back when random mention something. Grip hold me tightly, flows like a harpoon, alien nightly. With a stop, yo, down low, turn off the lights. Run off the moon to the extreme, wreck the light like a angel out of a stage, jacked up by a land of king. The sea gets that boom, till in your brain like a poisonous mushroom, deadly. But I play, I don't really, anything less than a bit in the belly, love it. But I get way, hit with holes that kids don't play. It's a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the body that round it.
Hey, not too bad, Mary Lou. Not too bad.
Thanks, Gray.
It's okay. Keep it simple. It's no big deal. I'm getting just really tired when people go, Gray, you should do that. Gray, you should. Max Smith, how did you rule out BK? Yeah. Nobody can rule out BK because he's the only person that all the information leads directly to, including, believe it or not, his DNA underneath the buck. See, Max Smith is the classic troll. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I know you guys like talking to him, but it's wasting my time. Okay, so I'm going to put them on timeout, and if they come back again, they'll go on timeout again, saying the same thing, and it's over and over and over again. They never have anything rational to say, nor is it interesting. It's just a statement made with nothing to back it up. All right, awesome. The prosecutors. Oh, God. They're in a panic because the car had no DNA. What a joke. No, he doesn't. He's just one of those people. That's what a classic troll is, you guys. It's just they say outrageous things to troll for you to respond to them, just like I'm doing right now. It worked, right? So there you go. So that was cool. I mean, at least you can all see now how law enforcement might have said, you know what, we can add the 2015 in there too. And it could have been where they were looking up white Elantras on the campus, and they said, well, there's these ones, and they went, well, you know what, it actually could be a 2015. Right? I mean, why does that bother anybody? Why does it have to be that they were specifically looking for the exact year of a white Elantra? That'd be like somebody saying, remember Volkswagen Bugs, how they looked exactly the same for 10 years in a row? And then you said to somebody, well, it looks like a 1969 to a 75. Oh, it was a 74, you bastard! Ah, you blew it! Hey, thanks, Ollie79. Right, but just think about what I just said. So Volkswagen Bugs look absolutely the same from like 65 all the way up to like 71, right? There's almost no difference. So if you had it on a surveillance camera, and let's say there was one from 1972 that also looked, and you went, oh, wait, it even looked the same in 72. But you didn't put that in the original range, and you had all these people. Now, what are your questions, Denise? I don't have any. I just, every single thing that is questioned, what are the questions that people have? Go ahead. Throw them out, everybody. You got questions? Put them out there. Maybe that's what we'll do for part of this. Go ahead. Somebody out there and do it. Give me a question. Yeah, I think it is similar because the 2014, 15, and maybe even 16 look exactly the same on the Elantra. But they said 2013, gray. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Gee. Let's see. There is a slight chance that some of these trolls are from Defense Way. No, well, it could be because there's people that want to help the defense. Because let's face it, man. Bryan Kohberger's a real looker. He's somebody that you could really. He has dreamy eyes. I mean, sure, he's got ledges for eyebrows, and but he's absolutely hot as shit when he's got that suit on. Everybody, who doesn't want to date that guy? Hey, thanks, Cindy Leon. And thank you for your super thanks underneath the donation night video. I missed it. Bryan Kohberger is hot, you guys. I think what we need to do is play Sweet Dreams Are Made of These whenever we play him, Get the old Eurythmics song on there. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh, God, just have him, and just every little time he glances and turns with that little smile that lasts 0.3 seconds. We can slow it down and make it 2 seconds, though. I mean, I could literally, make it 10% speed, and it'll look like... That's where we need Zozo to be talking about. Oh, there she is right there. Break me off a piece. Oh, yeah. With the nose entering the... Here comes Bryan Kohberger's nose. The nose is entering the room. And there are his eyebrows. Shortly following. And notice what looks like Chewbacca sitting on the ledges of his eyebrows as he comes in. Very bushy eyebrows. But he does have that beautifully curled hair with the gel in it. Looks like somebody from 1980 at a party, at a fraternity. All we need now is the paisley socks and the checkered shirt. Do you think if he had gotten into therapy when he was a teenager, he could have been helped? I don't know. We don't really know what his whole background is. He seems like somebody that has just been that way. Thanks, CR. No sweet dreams. Look at she put the big nose on the... Maybe I need to have an emoji. Kohberger's nose. Oh, that might be a good one. That might be a good one. Oh yeah, those would be good. The Groucho Marx, big nose and glasses. God, maybe I should wear those sometime. Show up on the show and say, "Hi, I'm Bryan Kohberger, the most unlucky person in the world. I can't even be a peeping Tom and get away with it. I was just minding my own... Well, I wasn't really minding my own business, but I was staring through the window, hoping to get a glimpse of somebody in their bikini underwear or something, and what happened is somebody else started killing them. And I found it that I sat there for 12 minutes watching it. It was so great. And then I drove away because I was scared that somebody might come. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Eugenie. Here, just a second. Hey, thank you, Georgina Stoliker. Yeah, I turned off the fan there. It's getting pretty loud. Making my nose allergies. I can't wait to get into that. You guys wouldn't believe it. The little splitter air conditioner in the office. It's so quiet. You can put it in quiet mode. But let me ask you something. Why is there a noisy mode? Like, why is there a quiet mode? Like, what? I mean, I'm not sure. Does anybody ever write you letters and say, I really love the loud air conditioning fans you have? Man, I just love it. Does anybody understand that part? Like, why is there a silent mode? Wouldn't that just be how you would just have it? Always? I mean, it's cool because you couldn't hear a damn thing. Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would you ever want it to make noise, buried fish heads? You didn't get what I was saying. Do you think you actually ever met them or just stalked them from afar? I think he tried to... I kind of buy into some of that early stuff, what they were saying, where he tried to communicate with some of them, but they didn't respond. I mean, I don't know what the initial... I think what would be really fascinating to find out was what was the first time that Bryan Kohberger like spotted one of the girls, or became interested, that led to what happened. Yeah, I see that. What you're saying, Sharp Tack. I used to have a fan that would make it so it drowns out the sound. And you know what I did later? I switched to a what do you call it? I put it on to a FM radio channel that doesn't exist, and it'd be the white noise, and that would get me to sleep. And then I just went to earplugs, the 33 decibel ones, the purple ones on Amazon. Man, those things are amazing. I've heard people like the white noise of fans to go to sleep. Yeah. Isn't that weird? That's why people like the ocean, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. God, it's so weird. This fan always makes me... In the evening, it gives me allergies. It's strange. I sit here all day and I don't get any... It doesn't give me allergies at all. But it's like right in the evening when the air conditioning comes on, it just... I wonder if... Does pollen fall out of the trees in the evenings? I haven't really thought of that. Oh, really? That's crazy, Cindy. Do you guys want to watch the press conference when the arrest was made? Because I made the audio louder. It's only like 20-something minutes long. And then I thought we'd go over this other document that was released that is regarding DNA later. Okay? But if you look up there, you guys, we are almost at the... There it is. Look at that. Look at that. At 79%. What do you mean, please don't? Paula, what do you mean? How come you're the only one that said that? Have you even made a comment prior? I'm going to go scroll up there. If I don't see it, I'm going to mark you down as a troll. Oh, you are a troll, yeah. I don't think they can put him at the crime scene. What a joke. Jesus. I think so. I think when you type in the word PayPal, it just shows up, doesn't it? Thanks, Allie79. Or are they not working tonight? Are the bots not working? Oh, there they are. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to play it. So here we go. "24 minutes.
Thank you for coming today. Last night, in conjunction with the Pennsylvania State Police, Federal Bureau of Investigation, detectives arrested 28-year-old Bryan Christopher Kohberger in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, on a warrant for murders of Ethan, Zana, Madison, and Kaylee.
See, you see how he said
I want
Zana?
to personally thank these agents.
I'm just letting you guys know. See how he said Zana? He didn't say Xana, right? And that's why I always said Zana before. See, look at it.
Bryan Christopher Kohberger in Albrightsville,
See,
Pennsylvania.
he says Zana. Watch.
On a warrant for murders of Ethan, Zana, Madison, and Kaylee.
So doesn't that sort of seem reasonable? Why I might have called her Zana and not Xana? That the spokesperson for the police said that?
I want to personally thank these agencies for their assistance in this case. Kohberger resides in Pullman, Washington, and is a graduate student at Washington State University. We will provide as much information as we can about the extradition to Idaho and the criminal process. However, due to Idaho state law, we are...
Right, but I call her Xana now because that's what her name is. But I went by what this guy was saying.
...limited in what information we can release today until Kohberger...
Did you see that, guys? He called her Zana. He lied to us. That's a red flag. Boom!
has his initial appearance in Idaho court. I want to express my appreciation to our local community, the people of Idaho, and those throughout our nation who provided information to help us investigate these murders has been very impressive. We've received over 19,000 tips, and we've conducted over 300 interviews. To recap this case, on the evening of November 12th, Kaylee and Madison arrived home at about 1:50.
They do serve meat there. Hello, everybody. Hey, Tumbleweed. The Mad Greek isn't a vegetarian restaurant. They have a vegetarian menu. It's not a vegetarian restaurant, though. They serve meat there. Okay, thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Jason Freer and Aaron. I mean, it's amazing how people just, hey, he went there because it was a vegetarian restaurant. Can you even name a restaurant anymore that doesn't have a vegetarian options? I mean, it's like they don't exist, really. You're going to miss out on a big portion of income.
6 a.m. after visiting a local bar and street food vendor. Ethan and Xana were at the Sigma Chi house before arriving home around 1:40.
Okay, I'm going to go back again. Yeah, it's exactly... See, even there, they don't have the exact correct time. It's really about 1:58 or 9 when they got home. Okay? So this is clear back in December 30th. They still didn't have the exact information on their end. Right? But the restaurant is just a regular restaurant that had a vegetarian menu. Okay? So can we quit with the crap and speculating that, oh, he went there because it was a vegan restaurant? That doesn't happen. That didn't happen. Okay?
A.m. after visiting a local bar and street food vendor. Ethan and Xana were at the Sigma Chi house.
Now, he said Xana.
Before arriving home around 1:45 a.m. The two surviving roommates had also been in the community but returned around 1 a.m. On the morning of November 13th, a 911 call was made at...
Yeah, so they're like 15 minutes off on when, but it's not really relevant, okay? The only part that's relevant is when the white Elantra showed up. Like, it doesn't matter if it's 2 o'clock in the morning or 2:07 or if we have the exact second that Kaylee and Madison got home. Yeah, it's nice to have that information, but it's really sort of irrelevant. It was around 1:45. Hey, thank you so much, Annabelle Stell. GHI, best of the best. Visit the facts. Stay for the humor. There you go.
Best of the best. Visit for the facts. Stay for the humor.
There you go. There you go.
11:58 a.m., reporting an unconscious person at the residence. The call came from inside the home from one of the surviving roommates' cell phones. Moscow police responded and found 2 victims on the 2nd floor and 2 victims on the 3rd floor. On November 17th, Autopsies were conducted, and the Latah County coroner confirmed the identity of the 4 victims. The cause and manner of death was homicide by stabbing. Some had defensive wounds, and each had been stabbed multiple times. These murders have shaken our community, and no arrest will ever bring back these young students. However, we do believe justice will be.
Hey, by the way, do you think it's even possible for someone with the last name of Berger to not eat meat? I mean, is that even something that's possible? Something's not quite right here, everybody. Something just doesn't add up. He's got a last name of Berger, and wait, there are veggie burgers. Forget it.
We found through the criminal process. This was a very complex and extensive case. We developed a clear picture over time, and we stand assured that the work is not done, but be assured the work is not done. This has just started. Since November, we have remained laser focused on pursuing every lead in our pursuit of justice for the victims and their families.
Hey, by the way, I think it was Cairo. He had me eat Beyond Meat Burger, and I've had a couple the last couple of days, and they're not really that bad. I got to be honest with you. I know it kind of sucks, but if you eat them on an omelet or something, it's pretty good.
I recognize the frustration with the lack of information that's been released. However, providing any details in this criminal investigation might have tainted the upcoming criminal prosecution or alerted the suspect of our progress. We will continue to provide as much information as we can as the process moves forward. Today, I want to specifically thank our dedicated Moscow Police Department detectives, patrol officers, the Idaho State detectives, the Idaho State troopers, and their crime lab technicians and scientists, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation for the resources and personnel to conduct this massive investigation. It was the dedication of them and the persistence and the numerous hours that led to an arrest. Fortunately, these highly skilled people worked together as a cohesive team to solve this case. I also want to thank our community and the nation. Over the past 6 weeks, I've been continually reminded of how much our community cares. Locally, public support has been exceptional with kind words, food for investigators,
but look at it now,
and letters of support.
Crazy ass people.
You will never know
probably
how
blaming
much your words
all
of
of you.
Encouragement help us through these trying times. I appreciate each of you and each of your kind.
People have theorized about this guy. Can you believe that? It's unbelievable.
Kindness. Agencies and individuals from across the nation have reached out to us to express their support to this department. I'm reminded how our Moscow community, our families, and the nation has been impacted by this daily. Finally, I do want to thank our media partners for the help. You kept this in the news. You helped us with tips. You kept things going, and we truly appreciate
19th
that.
of what?
And you are
the gift of
the
magic.
product
What are you
of
talking about?
19,000 tips that we received, which is an impressive number. I would like to invite.
So you're saying the New York Times had Bryan Kohberger's name on November 19th, 6 days after the murder. I call bull crap on that one. I got to be honest with you.
Bill Thompson, the county prosecutor, up at this time.
God, you know what? I hope they. I don't know if this. Maybe this guy's good or something, but I don't know, man.
Good afternoon, folks. My name is Bill Thompson. I'm the Latah County prosecutor.
God, hopefully they get some, like a little bit more. Well, is he the one that's been in court and stuff like that? I haven't seen this guy, or maybe he's shaved or something.
Sad to be here, but happy to be here at the same time. As Chief Fry indicated, a criminal complaint was filed yesterday here in Latah County, charging the defendant, Mr. Kohberger, with 4 counts of first-degree murder. In addition,
well, he's probably good because he looks calm and trustworthy.
To felony burglary. Which
I mean, could you never disagree with Santa Claus? I mean, if Santa Claus told you, hey, listen, this is the one, you're going to go, yes, Santa. As a matter of fact, I guarantee it that has something that would make people not question him.
Entering the residence with the intent to commit the crime.
And watch, the trial will be on like December 23rd, and he's going to show up with a red outfit and the hat and everything. It's going to be freaking amazing.
Mr. Kohberger, and let me preface, there's a pending case now in court, and I and my office and the investigators have to live with the restrictions that our Supreme Court places on pretrial publicity. That said, I promise you we will share with you through the court process or otherwise whatever we are allowed to. I just appreciate your patience on that. The factual basis for the charges are summarized in what's called a probable cause affidavit that is on file.
Hey, Paula, here's the thing, Paula. You agree? You believe a lot of the nonsense that you see on YouTube channels, because I saw exactly what you're referring to earlier. Yeah. The FBI questioned that individual, probably wondering why they came up and they're saying what they're saying. And they're talking about the DNA expert that had the purple hair.
With the court. According to the rules of the Idaho Supreme Court, that is sealed until Mr. Kohberger is physically back in Latah County and has been served with the Idaho arrest warrant.
Who admitted?
At that time, we expect that affidavit will be available to you so you can share the true facts with all of your readers and your watchers and your listeners and all of the people who are interested and really need to know what's going on. So please have patience with us on that. We hope to get that to you as soon as we can. As far as Mr. Kohberger, I can share with you that he is a graduate student at Washington State University and has an apartment residence over in Pullman. He has had an initial appearance in front of a judge in Pennsylvania. He is being held without bond, and the warrant from our magistrate judge here also provides for no bond. We understand that he's scheduled to be back in court in Pennsylvania next Tuesday afternoon, and that a public defender has been appointed for him there. The process at this point is, since he was arrested in another state, he has the opportunity to either waive extradition and return voluntarily to the state of Idaho, or if he prefers not to waive extradition, then we will initiate extradition proceedings through our governor's office. If we do that, it can take a while for him to get here. So again, I'm asking for your patience and understand that's just the way the system works.
I think it was the 30th of December.
Once he gets here, he'll have an initial appearance with our magistrate. They'll deal with issues such as making sure counsel is competent counsel is representing him, and the case will be scheduled for further hearings. Your primary source of factual information is going to be the court record, because that's what the Supreme Court says we need to refer you to. So please pay attention to what's going on in court and have people there to watch and hear what's being said. As an attorney, myself and my office, we are limited on what we are allowed by the courts to say outside of the courtroom. So please just work with us. Finally, as the chief indicated, this is not the end of this investigation. In fact, this is a new beginning. Y'all now know the name of the person who has been charged with these offenses. Please get that information out there. Please ask the public, anyone who knows about this individual, to come forward, call the tip line, report anything you know about him to help the investigators and eventually our office and the court system understand fully everything there is to know about not only the individual, but what happened and why. Next, I'll introduce Colonel Ked Wells from the Idaho State Police. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Kedrick Wills. I serve as the director of the Idaho State Police and certainly want to express our appreciation for your attendance here today. These tragic murders took 4 young, vibrant lives from our community. Nothing we do can bring them back. The only thing that we can do in law enforcement to honor their memories that we know of is to bring this to a successful conclusion. This has been a very difficult time for the families, the university, the community, and the state of Idaho. However, it is also proven that communities come together in tough times. Certainly appreciate the support of the local community and our national audience that has been following us as our investigators have worked through this case. I'm thankful also to you, the media partners, who have helped keep this case in the forefront that generates the tips and we hope will continue to generate information.
I don't know. Who are the Thomas haters out there? Haven't seen any. I just don't know. I guess you could look at it like he looks like a trustworthy person. I hope he's really sharp and quick up on the stand, when he's questioning people.
That will help us to a conclusion of this proceeding. I'd like to express our appreciation on behalf of the Idaho State Police to Chief Fry, his leadership, and the entire Moscow Police Department for the way that they handled this from the very beginning. He directed the right people to the right positions that led us to this conclusion today. I've had the utmost confidence in this investigation and in Chief Fry, as well as in Mr. Bill Thompson and the Latah County Prosecutor's Office, who've been a great partner throughout this. Nothing has deterred the commitment of the investigators who've worked on this case, regardless of the organization they represent. It's been very trying and very difficult, as you know, that it has been on those investigators as they do the tedious work that they're so good at doing. The partnerships is what's led here as well. The partnerships between Moscow Police Department, I'd like to express our appreciation with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, specifically the special agent in charge out of the Salt Lake City Division, Dennis Rice, and also the work that happened in the last 24 hours in Pennsylvania with the arrest with the Pennsylvania State Police and Colonel Evanchik with the Pennsylvania State Police. We appreciate what they've done across the nation to help us as well. As Bill shared, this investigation is far from over. In fact, I appreciate what he shared, that this is not an ending, but rather a new beginning. The difference now is, as he shared, that we are dictated what information we can share by the court process and by laws in our state of Idaho. And so we will share, as he shared, Mr. Thompson is absolutely committed to share everything he can share through the court process. We've got to make sure that we don't get in front of that process. And we really deeply appreciate everybody's support here. The relationships that were forged here and the partnerships that were forged have led to this. And based on that is why we're here today. And we continue to believe that the best way we can honor these 4 lives that have been taken is to make sure that we have a successful outcome here. One of the partnerships that's been forged throughout this is a partnership with the University of Idaho. And on that, I'd like to introduce the president of the University of Idaho, Mr. Scott Green.
By the way, guys, if we get to the 350 tonight, I'll donate another 5 memberships up there. So, I mean, I have the goal as a goal, but there's nights that are really slow. So sometimes if we have those other nights where we beat it by a lot, it makes up for those other ones. So if you guys would still like to help support the channel, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Scott Green, President, University of Idaho. Today's news and arrest is a welcome one. It's relief to our university, our community, and our extended Vandal family. Mm-hmm. The outpouring of support over the past 6 weeks helped sustain us during the most trying time.
I want to move
it provided the strength.
I don't really, this stuff doesn't really. All right, let's see. Right there.
So now we will open the floor to questions. However, I want to remind everyone, as Prosecutor Bill Thompson explained, any factual information regarding the arrest of Kohberger is currently sealed per Idaho law and will not be released until he has appeared in an Idaho court. Please formulate your questions accordingly. I recognize there are a lot of questions, and I will try to answer as many of them as I can.
Is there an evergreen or
Lauren Patterson, Northwest Public Broadcasting, Spokane Public Radio. I realize the records are sealed. I guess I'm not too familiar with how.
Hold on a second. Look at that guy. I think that one guy right there, that's Kohberger back there. Look at everybody. Look. Can you see that? There's Kohberger in the background there. Oh, I swear to God, look at right there. Look at right there, everybody. Look at what's going on. See that right there? That guy's Kohberger right there. Can you see him? Look at that. Look at that crap. He's right there. Look at him. Oh my God. How did they miss him there? He was sitting right there. That's what people do on YouTube. It's incredible. There's this clown out there that made a video. You know the kids that were pulled over in Banfield? These kids were pulled over in Banfield, and this what was it? Oh yeah, so they're standing there, and the lady says, "Look, that is 100% Maddie's jacket. I could tell by the length of it. It's sitting right there on the ground next to him." And then the kid on camera, and she's blocking it, he just steps over to the curb, and she goes, "Oh my God! He tried to hide the jacket by pushing it with his foot. Oh my God, everybody." And then people sent it to me and said, "Gray, what do you make of this?" "God, I see it too." And I said, "You know what that is? That's spirit box visually. Somebody tells you they see something, and they've got a YouTube channel. Therefore, it's true." It's insane.
It works, but can you tell us what tip, what lead, what piece of evidence
Hey,
really
thanks, Craig.
led you all the way from Idaho
I respond to
the
that name,
suspect
too.
in Pennsylvania?
As I've said in the past, that's part of our investigation, and we won't be releasing that this time. We will have those answers. We'll have them as soon.
Sealed. I guess I'm not too familiar with how it works, but can you tell us what tip, what lead, what piece of evidence really led
the
you
DNA on
all
the
the way
knife
from
sheath.
Idaho to the suspect in Pennsylvania?
As I've said in the past, that's part of our investigation, and we won't be releasing that this time. We will have those answers. We'll have them as soon as we can make those available to you.
Then a quick follow-up and a two-parter. Is our
It's stunted.
community safe, or is law enforcement...
So you missed that part, Annabelle Stealth. It's a stunted twin. Because the one that the Indiana State Police pulled over, his driver's license said that he was 6 feet tall. Now, all the super sleuthy YouTubers who say he's 6'4" or taller, that must be a different person that looks just like Bryan Kohberger. That's why I think it's very possible that the individual that was in the Indiana State Police that was pulled over was a stunted, identical twin of Bryan Kohberger. Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
still on the search for other suspects who might be involved in this attack?
What I can tell you is we have an individual in custody who committed these horrible crimes, and I do believe our community is safe. But
weirdly, the 6-foot version has these massive feet, short legs, and a big head.
we still need to be vigilant, right? We still have talked about this in the past. We always need to be aware of our
that was pretty good. That was
surroundings
pretty good.
and make sure
Hey,
that
thanks,
we're
T-Cell
aware of what's
Logic.
going on.
Oh, man. You're right, Amber.
Hi,
We
Chief.
could have the wrong
How
person.
soon into the investigation did police and law enforcement begin to spot Mr. Kohberger as a potential suspect? And a follow-up, how many tips, if you can say, were...
See, it's interesting because we can actually answer these questions now.
We have an individual in custody who committed these horrible crimes, and I do believe our community is safe, but we still need to be vigilant, right? We still have talked about this in the past. We always need to be aware of our
T-Cell
surroundings
Logic.
and make sure that we're aware of what's going on.
Hi, Chief. How soon into the investigation did police and law enforcement begin to spot Mr. Kohberger as a potential suspect? And a follow-up, how many tips, if you can say, were specifically related to Mr. Kohberger?
To the tip part, honestly, I can't answer that question, so I'm not even going to speculate on that. On the other part, that's part of our investigation, and it will come out. I'd like the mic to please come right over here.
Thank you. Dana Griffin with NBC News. Can you confirm that Kohberger asked whether or not anyone else had been arrested when he was in custody?
I cannot confirm that, or I'm not sure of that information.
So,
but that would still
so
be
the main things that people focus in on are the claim that the defense made that there's other DNA samples. And Kohberger said, did they arrest anybody else? And you notice how he didn't say, I didn't do it. He said, did they arrest anybody else, right? So for those out there that say, well, he's innocent, there's some... he's not denying. I mean, he could have gone in there. Maybe he was the one that was trying to plant somebody else in there. DNA or something, right? Did they arrest anybody else? What do you mean you thought it meant his dad? Why would he arrest his dad? That doesn't make any sense.
Part of our investigation.
Did CODIS initially return any hits on this guy?
There weren't other people involved, Paula.
That will come out. If we could get somebody over here, please.
And then one final question.
Hey, Paula, I'm just going to let you know right now, Paula. Here's the thing. Bryan Kohberger is the sole killer in this case. He did it all by himself. He is the killer. I have absolutely no doubt. Now, you don't have to agree, and you can have doubt. But I'm going to tell you right now, I would say there's an extremely good chance that you'll be wrong. Okay? Like, to the point where it's amazing how many people are going down the road of trying to support Bryan Kohberger and think it's somebody else, and he's just being railroaded, and poor guy, and all this stuff. And I just got to say that you guys are, I can't say it's impossible that there's something else, but I just don't see it. I'm like right there with Amber, 99.99999. Yeah, it's just like, there's nothing there. Nobody out there has ever given me anything that I go, woo, now that's interesting. Not one thing. There hasn't been one piece of that. All you ever hear is wackos, the ones that Paula watches, the people that put out just garbage little insinuations and loose connections that people just... So if I went like this, I go, oh, yeah. Hell yeah, this Kopacka guy, he worked for the CIA. And he was the one that was there that night. And you're listening and you go, yeah. Hey, Gray, how come you didn't mention that Kopacka worked for the CIA? And I said, well, how come you didn't go verify if he worked for the CIA? How do you know he worked for the CIA? Well, this YouTuber told... Yeah, okay. Well, that's where your information came from, all right?
Is there any message to the online sleuths who slandered and harassed people who they believed were responsible?
There was a lot of speculation going on, and we've always said from the very beginning that we're the...
Yeah, well, these guys created a lot of the speculation. Like, I had a theory, and that's all it was. So there's a difference between a theory and accusation. Big difference, the way you word it and everything. Where I thought maybe the boyfriend, since they said it was something personal, and they didn't clear the boyfriend until, like, I don't know, 10 days in. It took them forever. Okay, but I had a theory that I was thinking, well, it's possible this, but then I would even say, but even after I said all that, there's a good chance that's not true at all. But that's a theory. The difference is the other people say, oh my God, this guy did it. Did you see the knives he had? Oh my God, he did it. That's where you're accusing somebody. All right, I never do that unless I know. Like, there's cases you just know, right? Like, let's see, husband and wife are getting divorced. It's been contentious, and everybody says, oh my God, there's violence all the time in that home. And then she turns up missing just before a court date on custody. It's just, at that point, it's almost 99.999% that it's going to be the husband, right? I don't know what you're talking about, man. No, and I'm going to remove that because you're just trying to pump your channel on my channel.
Official message that comes out, and to pay attention to what we're putting out there to the press.
I'm Nancy Liu with News Nation, and we were over at the house this morning, and you told us that the remediation would begin today. It was suddenly stopped. Can you tell us why?
Yes. The house cleanup has been halted, and that came by a legal request from the court.
Bryan Kohberger's driver's license said he was 6 feet tall. Was he already tricking people years ago, knowing that someday in the future he's going to kill and he's actually 6'4"? What a clever thinker he is.
Christina Corbin, Fox News. Chief, have you identified a motive?
That is part of the investigation, and that will come out as we continue the investigation. But what we still ask is for people to continually send us things in the tip line. We are still looking for more information. We're still trying to build that picture, just like we have stated all along. We're putting all the pieces together, and that will help.
Chief Veronica Miracle with CNN. Any indication that the suspect knew the victims?
That's part of the investigation as well. It won't be something that will come out at this point in time, but as we continue the investigation and as this case goes to trial, that will...
Oh, I already talked about that one, Paula, whatever the hell your name is. I'm going to get to it later, too, Paula. Hey, Paula, you're just a nightmare of a person to show up on somebody else's channel. You know, it's not fun having you here. You don't say anything interesting. You don't provoke anybody's, make anybody go, wow, that's really interesting. It's the most boring, mundane conversations that I've ever seen in my entire time that I've been on YouTube is reading your comments. We're all a little dumber having read them. And that's a Billy Madison quote right there.
Be brought forth.
Have you spoken to the families? Can you tell us what they've told you today?
Are you talking the victims' families? Yeah, we have reached out to the victims' family as we always do. We've done that daily, and we've continued to have contact with them.
Hey, Nate Sanford, you mentioned earlier that you're still seeking tips about Bryan and that people should still share whatever information they have. Can you speak at all about what specifically
it's accurate, Cameron.
People should be reaching out for, like if they know something?
Right.
I would say anything and everything. As we've said all along, we know what tips we're looking for. We will take those tips and we will have professionals look at those and decide which pieces of those we need to use for our case. So we ask that everybody would do that.
Angela Palermo, Idaho Statesman. Your department and other investigators on the case took a lot of flack for keeping information close to your chest. Are you glad that you did that, and were you worried about tipping the suspect off?
I will 100% stand behind the way that we handled this investigation.
Look at that. I was called so mean by Cindy. Boy, that's not good. But I actually think that I should put some of you in prison tonight. Now we're languishing in prison now, and the show's just on hold until I get the hell out of here. Wow. Thanks, Cindy. Thanks a lot. Yeah. I can't see Max, so if there's a moderator out there, let me see if I can't see Max, then I want one of the moderators that can see him to, okay, there he is right there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if I'm now blocked or not. Just block him, any of the moderators that has access to him up there. But I'm stuck in prison, you guys, and will we get out? We don't know, but we were in a really good spot on that video, and then why do you care, Cindy? Oh, that's weird, Cindy. A lot of people have you blocked. Who cares? Bail is whatever it looks like on the screen. Maybe this time I'll need to get to 30. If we get to 3, I'm not really sure what it is. Cindy's wasn't even bail. She just wanted to unblock me, Max. Oh, God. I want a troll to unblock me. All right, Daphne got me into a witness protection program. I guess I'm in jail. Hey, thanks, Kit Kat. Yeah, you can't really get bailed out of prison. You know what I'm saying? No, thanks, Kit Kat. Been here only 5 minutes and you're in jail. Well, I was doing good before, and then Cindy threw me in prison because we have this person that just is nuts in here. Let's see. A lot of people. Well, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have you blocked, Cindy. Why not? I'd block you if I was just in the chat, just to avoid the. Let's see. What do we got here? That's probably good for bail there. All right. Thanks, guys.
Here only 5 minutes and you're in jail.
Thanks, Kami. Cindy Leon, 37 months. That's 3 years and a month. So you started watching or becoming a member during that first year, the 2020 pandemic time. Hey, Paula, there isn't any you can type in your questions, Paula. Go ahead. I'm really interested. Man, when I started the show tonight, I said, "Gosh, I hope Paula shows up. I can't wait for her crazy questions." So let's hear yours tonight. Go ahead. I'm waiting for it. I'm sure it's really interesting. Give me something to think about.
And this all started from day one with our patrol officers arriving on scene, locking down the
Lisa
scene,
Valens,
us calling in
6
the Idaho
months.
State Police,
Boom.
us calling in the FBI, and keeping information that was pertinent to this case very, very tight. We want to have a situation where when this goes to trial, there is no doubt that we've done everything right, and we've slowed down, and we've continued to slow down. We'll continue to do that.
Hey, Chief. Have you guys found the murder weapon or?
Yeah, Candy Girl, I think you were on the opposite side of me in the Kanika Jenkins case. But don't you think that when it was all said and done, when the dust settled, that I alone completely I got everybody to see the reality of it. Anybody with any rational fiber in them at all, they ended up seeing the truth of the Kanika Jenkins case. That in a 7.5 minute period, she walked down to the lower levels and wandered into a freezer and couldn't get herself out of it. Hey, thanks, Danny. I see you.
or the Hyundai Elantra?
Wait,
so we
okay,
are.
Hold on. Let's go back there. Let's go. This is a big one, you guys. It's a big
Hey,
one.
Chief. Have you guys found the murder weapon or the Hyundai Elantra?
So we are
Well, they have the
still
Hyundai Elantra,
looking
right?
for all pieces of evidence, but we are still looking for the weapon. And I will say that we have found an Elantra.
Okay, so he does say they have found an Elantra. Why doesn't he just say that, yes, Bryan Kohberger drives a white Honda Elantra? I mean, there's no harm in saying that right then.
Stephanie Becker with CNN. Can you tell what it was like when you got the phone call when the police told you that they had your suspect?
I can tell you, for a lot of law enforcement, it was a fairly sleepless couple of days with as we were leading up to everything that we were doing. But what I can tell you is I have
What are you referring to, Jessica? What are you on pins and needles about?
faith in those agencies across the nation. I have faith in our officers. I have faith in the FBI, and they did a great job. But sure, there was.
Notice how Paula
some
disappeared
times,
after I told her to
even
give me
throughout,
something?
the day that we were always concerned.
Hi, Chief. Don back at CBS News. Can you talk a little bit more about the suspect's connection to Pennsylvania?
All I know is that he lives in Pennsylvania.
Chief Guy Tannenbaum from Nonstop Local KHQ in Spokane. More about the Elantra. We saw reports that you mentioned that you recovered an Elantra, but can you specify where that was found? And we know that was one of the biggest pieces of information you were asking from the public to tip. Were you able to provide an information on whether those tips led to this seizure of an Elantra?
That's still part of the investigation that will come out in the future.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Chief Glenn Mosley, Idaho Public Radio here in Moscow. The additional police presence in town and on campus, semester's coming. Is that going to continue?
You will continue to see state troopers in the area. We're talking to Latah County as well. You will see a presence of us that we're always have up on campus. We have assigned officers to that. So you will continue to see a law enforcement presence. I'm going to take 2 more questions.
Hi, Chief. Julie Scott, ABC News. Can you tell us if you
Julie Scott,
eventually
ABC
had a license
News.
plate number to the Elantra and how you tracked it to Pullman?
That's still part of the investigation that will come out.
Chief, hi, Matt Lovelace with the Murrow College of Communication. I want to ask about Mr. Kohberger as a graduate student at WSU.
Wow, you live
Are
a long ways
aware of
away,
if he
Kerry.
returned to campus after November 13th?
That was 6 hours.
And have you had any communication with departments on the WSU campus about his attendance?
So some of that is going to be followed up as we continue our investigation. We'll be asking some of those questions, but that'll come out in the near future. So what I do want to do is I want to thank you all. You really have been the national voice for us. You've given us the opportunity to.
And now if you'll just
get
all
many,
shut
many
the
tips.
hell up and let us.
And I do appreciate everything you've done. And we'll continue to look forward to working with you in the future on this. So I'd like to thank you for that and thank you for your time.
Okay. All right. So for the people that showed up later again, I'll say it one more time. This is how it worked with Bryan Kohberger. In the investigation, they found the knife sheath on the bed. They swabbed the knife sheath, and they found a single source bit of DNA underneath the button, the snap of the knife sheath. They then did forensic genetic genealogy audit, and it led to a lead given by, I guess the FBI has their own FGG, and most police departments, not most, but a lot of police departments nowadays have their own forensic genetic genealogists in-house now, and because they've been trained how to do it, and they're in-house, and that generates a lead. Then when the lead was generated, they checked other information to make sure it makes sense. And oh my God, yep, there he is. He lives right there in Pullman, Washington. And then they followed him all the way back to Pennsylvania. And they kind of like clandestinely gathered DNA, and it led to his father, which at a really high percentage, I don't know what the numbers were on that one, that it was likely his father compared to any other individual, in the billions probably, right? Then that was enough for an arrest warrant for Bryan Kohberger, and when they arrested Bryan Kohberger, they take a swab from his cheek and they compare that DNA to the original DNA sample from the knife sheath, and then it's game over, and that's where they got the 5.37 octillion to 1 is because his DNA matched absolutely perfectly all the way down. And the way they get that calculation is based off of the CODIS. So they must have maybe put his DNA back into CODIS, or maybe they didn't need to because they've already had the original sample into CODIS. I think I probably forgot that step. So when they collect the DNA off the knife sheath, they put it into CODIS first and look for a match. Then once there's no match found, then they do forensic genetic genealogy that leads to a name, and then more investigations needed. Then they clandestinely gather, try to get a piece of DNA, disposed piece of gum or a bottle or something. Then they take that DNA and they then they compare that to the sample because they have the sequence also and CODIS. So they compare it to the sequence, and then if there's a match there, they then are able to. And, you know, I've actually seen cases where they collected a bottle and they got the wrong DNA first, and then one of them just on a hunch said, "You know what? Let's try that again. Maybe you grabbed the wrong." And it was. They got a different bottle. See what you're saying, Gray? Look. Nope. They got the right bottle. In this case, they got the right piece because after arresting Kohberger, they did a buccal swab on him and compared it to the original DNA sample, and it was a 100% match out into affinity. I mean, we're looking at 1 in... Okay, what was the number I came up with? You'd have to have like something like 400 quadrillion planet Earths with the same sort of genetic system on those planets to maybe come up with another person. I'm not even sure there's that many suns or planets in the entire universe. Yeah, and this clown literally said, "Octillion isn't even a number, you guys. It's just fantasy land. I mean, if there's only 8 billion, how could there be an..." Listen to this. If there's 8 billion people on the planet, how can there be a number like octillion? Because it's a calculation. Okay, everybody? Well, it would be 5.37 octillion to 1, but we need to change it to 5.37 billion because people don't get it. Well, then that means there could be 1.5 more Kohbergers. Okay, let's make it a trillion. Oh, Jesus, you guys. Oh, wow. Unreal. Let's see, because numbers aren't based on how many people are in... I'm going to go to the... What was the other thing I was going to look at? I like my thumbnail, though, don't you guys? I mean, this is pretty good. What do you think? Boom. Little DNA strand in there with some blur added to it. I mean... Come on, ladies. You know what I'm saying, huh? So we have, where are we at right now? We need to, if we get to another $19, I'll give away 5 memberships. What snowflake? Come on, Paula, where are you, man? Where's these amazing questions you had? I don't mind them in, we don't need to, I mean, I'll time people out, like if they're putting a bunch of troll stuff in there, but I'd rather just have you guys remove troll comments and then I'll be the one that blocks somebody because I don't mind having a dialogue with them. All right? But then there's a certain point where it gets old and then I just get rid of them, you know? That's okay, Jessica. It's okay. It's already ran out. Yeah, for me it's not difficult. This is one of those cases, to me, it's very similar to the Kanika Jenkins case, and Delphi, really. Well, Kanika Jenkins is the closest one, because this case has everything. Here's the thing. When there's a probable cause document, I'm one of those people that tend to, I think that they put in accurate information. I'd be shocked if it was... I've never seen a probable cause, to be honest, that's just totally full of crap. Okay? Every time you go to trial, the probable cause is almost the blueprint at the trial when it happens. I've never seen one where it's just loaded with garbage. So here's the thing. In this case, the probable cause document is so strong that I don't need the DNA on the sheath to go, this guy did it. All right? This video right here is going to be amazing at the trial. It's just, this video right here, this still frame is the quality of that video, and it's probably even better. This thing right here has, it's going to show the white Elantra coming around that corner. Okay, let me ask you guys this. Using your brains here, there aren't 22,000 white Elantras in Pullman, Washington, and Moscow combined. I bet you there might be 300 or something, right? Let's just say that there's that many, just randomly. And then how many of those drive around at 3 in the morning? Okay, throw out a number. Like, just throw out, okay, there's 300, but how many of those at 3:30, just say 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, throw that out there. How many of the 300 white Elantras would you guess maybe would you be driving around? Let's just say it's 2 or 3, right? Just say it's 3. How many of those have no front license plate? And the answer to that is 1. Okay, there is none of those other vehicles driving around. It's going to be the Bryan Kohberger's white Elantra missing a front license plate because he's from Pennsylvania. And when you put that information together, and guess what? Let me show you this again. I think this is a huge point right here too. Not sure why I have the liquor store and all that, Sinclair's and all these. Oh yeah, I was over here. Okay, so right here, when the Elantra drives by, where the hell is that? Right there, there it is. The A&W right here at 3:28, it's missing a front license plate, right? And then 1 minute later, exactly the amount of time, it enters the area, and then another white Elantra is right here. I mean, what do you think the odds are that that's a different one? And I guarantee it that this camera right, where is that camera? This camera right here is going to show this missing a front license plate. Look what it's doing to all, I mean, the light's right here, but look at that one right there. You can see how it shines over here. And I bet you when that car comes around, this one, there's nothing shining on the back of that car though. So I don't know exactly, but I think it's so clear that when it makes that turn, you'll be able to see that it doesn't have a front license plate on it. You think he thought he committed the perfect crime? Huh? I had her creator say that 1122 King Road is the house across the street in the video. Oh. Oh, they thought it was this one over here? That's funny. It has a similar look to it with the top on it and everything. But yeah, that's not it. Yeah, you got to be able to read a little bit better, Richie. I mean, Donna clearly said up there, I heard a creator say, listen to how this works, everybody. Donna wrote, I heard a creator say that 1122 King is the house across the street from the video. And then Richie said, Donna, that's not correct. 1122 is behind this house. Yeah, she knew that. Okay. No, you didn't need to even read the emoji, Richie. It was the entire sentence. That didn't even need an emoji on it. Okay? The sentence said, I heard a creator say. That's where your response should have been, well, the creator was wrong. The house is back there. Are you going to do more cold case? When, Iris? What are you talking about? Jesus. No, I'm never doing another cold case again, Iris. One of the problems is when I do the cold cases, there's like 250 people watching, and I'm reading, and they're just horrendous nights. No, I'm not doing one tonight, Iris. Did it say that in the title or anything? I didn't think so. Whew, wow. Yeah, it's no big deal, Richie. I'm just flipping you crap. Do you still have the video of Bryan being pulled over in Washington for not having... Yeah, what about it? I don't have it just sitting around where I go, oh yeah, it's right here, but I have it somewhere. It's almost like they got a stylist for this guy now. It's crazy. Hey, thanks for letting us know, Mike. Man, we've been waiting for you the whole night. I was just saying a few minutes ago, where's that Mike guy? And you let us know when you got here. You went, hey, everybody, just getting here. Let's see. Do you still have the video? Is anybody here? You guys are so quiet all of a sudden. It just turned into That is a show that I didn't have one. What? But hey, Iris, why did you want me to kick over to do a cold case tonight? I don't really get it. I mean, that was... I don't see... I hope that never happens again. Grace sent you an email that shows Bryan's photo they use. Let's see. Alright, let's see. How do you know that that's the photo they use? I don't think they use that one. I think the mug shot's the one that I would look at. I use it. That one looks worse. Hey, thanks, Michelle, on Venmo. Thank you. And thank you, Bronwyn, on PayPal there. And then also Christy earlier. Everyone wants to talk about Rex. Rex who? Oh, Herman? What do you mean everybody wants to talk about Rex Herman? Well, Iris, go watch something else then, okay? Thanks. Let's see. The license photo? I don't know. Jesus. Go watch something else, Iris, please. If you don't like the show that I'm doing, watch a different channel and a different show. It's just having you type in the chat's really disrespectful. It's not fun. It's just, you know, nobody's interested. Just go do what you want to do. Other people are here. It is rude. It's just rude, but people don't admit that it's rude. And then people hear me, gosh, Gray, I was just saying. No, it's rude as hell is what it is. So go watch something else if you don't want to watch what I'm doing. Love all the cases and shows Gray does. I know. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing is, I think I'm one of the few creators that literally covers a ton of different things. I cover hundreds of cases a year, not just one or two. But lately, I've been sort of having fun doing the debunking thing. on this one, last couple days. Is that okay? I mean, I just... Oh, wow. Hey, Mike Anderson. Another Mike. Yeah, well, thanks, Sherry. Or Cherry, or... Anyways, yeah, those kind of comments always just sort of put me in a bleak mood, you know? It's like, you got somebody that's a channel member going, I don't know, I'm just getting tired of this one, Greg. Doing anything else tonight? You doing a cold case? It's all about me. I want everybody to just do what I want, you know? Who cares what... It's just weird. You know, weird shit. I mean, I don't understand. It'd be like going to somebody's house for dinner, and they bring you some mashed potatoes and gravy, and you go, I don't want this. Do you guys... Hey, do you have some chicken or anything? Pizza, perhaps? And that's a absolutely perfect example. An analogy right there. All right, how about I go over this thing here? It's, I guess it's some example. This is the, at the hearing on the state motion for protective order, the defendant's third motion to compel, I think this is the one, it's about the DNA evidence. Like I think this is the one where they're giving up their right to cross-examine, something like that. Yeah, there it was. I just saw it. Notice of intent not to cross-examine defense witnesses, district court decision, and records to explain witness contact. Let me just see what this says here. You guys want me to go over this thing? I mean, it's 20-something pages, or I don't know if it's 20, or what page I'm on. This new PDF thing sucks. It doesn't really... Wait, is that right? Is that what that is? Okay, I guess over there. It's on the right now, down here. I think there should be cameras in the courtroom. Yeah, I think they definitely should allow cameras in the courtroom. There's really no reason not to. If you don't allow cameras in the courtroom, guess what all the crazies will do? Oh, they're hiding something. As long as you're thinking of me, that's all that counts. Yeah. Yeah, Mike, you did the thing that I always joke around about when you showed up. You know those people when, you know, they're in the chat and they go, hey, I'm back, everybody. I just got back from lunch. And I always want to say, nobody noticed. Even though people probably did that they were talking to. But I'm just like, just start talking again. You don't need to tell everybody, hey, I'm back. I know you're all waiting for my clever quips and all my amazing comments that I was making all show long. So I want to let you know that I'm back right now. Now, this isn't a place where we pump up. Like, it's not a place where you try to pump up channels, okay? Let's see, it's sort of like an episode from The Office here. Yeah. Hi, everyone. A brief description would be great. Thanks. A brief description of what? I don't have a brief description of it. I haven't read it. It's 20-something pages long. I just got it a few minutes before the show started. Ted Bundy didn't want cameras either. He just made the most. Well, there was cameras on Bundy's trial. It wasn't live or anything like that, but Thank you, Aaron. Only 9 something away from the 5 memberships.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Yeah, Kohberger doesn't want the cameras. Hey, KK, I can answer the questions. Thanks. Jesus. Let me see. Yeah, they're the ones that don't want the cameras in there. I just think trials should be televised anyways. Yeah, maybe not with little kids or something, but when they're involved. But come on. Yeah, it doesn't make it a... here's the thing, everybody. Having cameras in the courtroom has no effect on it being a fair trial or not. Because the jury's admonition is that they're not watching anything. They go home, they come back the next day. It has 0 effect on it being a fair trial or not. Now, I would say if there's like a hung jury, because... given the fact that we have so many really kind of, I don't know if they're low IQ or just strange people that are looking for ways out, they won't believe even the most common forensic information. Like, I don't think so, man. I heard this one guy. He's innocent. So it'll be like 11-1 again. And it'll be a hung jury. And then it's like, well, then it was on TV and it makes, No, they should be sequestered. Give them a Pong game or something like that in the background. Yeah, you can be seen. Type something in. Another old GHI freak. Oh wait, I wonder if I don't have it on the... I don't have live chat on. There we go. Don't you think YouTube should default everybody to live chat? I mean, why why have top chat as the default? Forget it. Maybe I'll look at this and try to make sense of it on my own. I think it's an example, though. So the problem that people are having, there's a YouTuber out there, and then other people are parroting the YouTubers. The guy from the UK that taught Grays, all he ever does, he doesn't have any original thoughts. He just takes what everybody else says and then tries to, sort of say why it's not right and put his own little spin, but it's not, it's never even accurate. It's like it's crazy talk. And so he was doing the same thing with this, I wish I could imitate him. But you got to see the this other person's video on the DNA and the FBI. They're claiming that the FBI is trying to tailor the case to being Kohberger. Like, the whole DNA part was, it's sort of like they pick the victim and then make the DNA fit. But it doesn't really, or not the victim, the suspect. It doesn't work like that, everybody. It doesn't. I mean, where did they get the DNA? So that means what you're saying when you say that is that the FBI then planted the touch DNA on the knife sheath. That's what you're saying if you say that. 100%. And does anybody think that, really? I mean, come on. Now, we do know that the FBI does some crazy shit in the political arena, but when they're doing law enforcement work, they're pretty good. I mean, you know, the felony crime stuff, murders and whatnot. The UK guy, yeah, he's just. I don't understand these people. Do they do it intentionally, Richie, or is it? Are they parody channels? What are they? There you go, Gray. You're cutting down another. I'm just telling you how it feels. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like I'm a unicorn in this case. Why am I pretty much the only substantial YouTube channel that literally thinks that Bryan Kohberger is absolutely 100% the killer in this case? How come? And you know what the answer is? Right now, I have 513 people watching. If I did an experiment and I pretended that I was absolutely, oh my God, and tried to word things, and I'd have 1,500 to 2,000 people watching right now. But I don't. So what happens is they tune in, they turn over here, and they go, oh, he thinks Cobra. Oh, no, that's not interesting. Now, give me back to that that spaceship that landed back in the... Yeah. So go ahead. Any of the people out there that are still confused, like Paula was earlier, give me a question. And they told all the surviving roommates to say... Oh, that's complete crap. Jesus. Well, that's it. You're joking. I mean, I think Mothership was just playing along with what I'm saying. Let's not be so quick to just... remove every comment. That's not even one that I would delete regardless. It's just a dumb, if it's a serious comment, it's just dumb. But if it's being sarcastic, it's kind of funny. And they told all the surviving roommates to say he has bushy eyebrows of the cops. Oh, don't worry about it. If it's an accident, yeah. Even if it wasn't an accident, don't worry about it. I'm just saying. YouTube plus KB plus aliens. Yep. Come on, I want some of the theories and stuff from the Kohberger didn't do it camp. Type something in. Something. Every time I ask this question, do you notice the lack of anybody typing something? Because it's so easy to go, oh yeah, that's... They just don't want you to be mean, Gray. Steam tunnels under the house he used to escape. Steam tunnels underneath that house? Wow, is there any proof of that? Did they find the latch door that leads to a secret tunnel underneath that house? When they went there, did they find the... Oh, wait a minute. The Elantra sped away at 420. Never mind. But that's the whole point, Gray. He was just there as a peeping Tom. Don't you get it? And then these other people snuck through the trap door in the tunnels and went up and did the killing. And he witnessed it. And then he left. But before leaving, one of those people asked him for a piece of gum. And Kohberger was chewing on a piece of gum and didn't have any extra gum. And he said, well, what about the one I'm chewing? And the guy said, sure, I'll take that. And so then he sped away. And then that person grabbed the K-bar knife and stuck the chewing gum underneath the button on the clasp. Wow, that's amazing. There isn't one, Kami. Yeah, there isn't one. That's a joke. For me, it is the 8 hours it took for the girls to call 911. Why does that bother you so much? Well, he did. And I think he might have left the knife sheath there as he planted it. I think she contacted other friends earlier and was like, hey, could you guys come over, check this out? I saw somebody laying there. I'm just not sure. I heard some weird shit last night. Can you come over? I bet you the 911 calls and other things like that have a lot more information in them. Thank you, Liz W. We're almost there, everybody, for the 5 memberships. Yeah, so the thing is, if the knife sheath was... I have 2 competing theories about the knife sheath. The first one is that the knife sheath was planted because of the lack of DNA on it. And all they found was this little bit of touch DNA underneath it. Surely he would have grabbed it when he ordered it, when he got it to his house. So they must have wiped it down. But the second one is that maybe he went upstairs to go look for it, and then when he came down, Xana was still alive, and she was whimpering, and then that's when he said, I'm here to help you. To keep her calmed down, because it would have been later and it would have made sense, and she might have thought it was a rescuer, and then he kills her. I don't know why you would say that the first time. Why should they take 8 hours to call the cops? Why shouldn't they take 8 hours? Maybe they didn't know that there was murders going on. So I think it could be that she was so freaked out. I've told the story before. I've said it before. I mean, a lot of you have never had situations where you're petrified, but I remember when I was a kid, just being just absolutely, like, we went on it, like, I think I was 10 years old or 11 or 12, maybe 12, on a camping trip, and it was like Timothy Lake, and people said, oh, there's Bigfoot out here. And I got into my tent, and like, I think I woke up at 1 in the morning, there was this, and I go, oh my God, that's Bigfoot. That's Bigfoot. And I sat there, and I literally did not move for hours. And then finally, when it broke, the light came, I looked over, and this guy was going, he was snoring the whole time. But I tell you what, those 4 hours, I was scared out of I just could not move, you know. I wasn't able to even, man, it was just, it was crazy. Oh, man. I think she was freaked out by hearing stuff, but she wasn't sure what happened and didn't want to realize it. She didn't want to see it. See, who cares? Unless you're somebody who thinks... See, here's the thing, everybody. When people are wondering about Dylan Mortensen and why they didn't call 911, what you're saying is you think that they're part of the crime. Just say it. Don't beat around the bush. Don't try to be, like pretend that you're... doing something else. Yeah, you want to give old young Gray a hug. Nobody heard my Bigfoot story a minute ago. They just kept talking about something else. But I was hoping to get a lot of sympathy for how scared I was when I was a kid, but I didn't get anything. No love, nothing at all. Just people talking about other things. You guys are mean. If anyone wakes up and sees blood bath in the house, huh? Yeah, I think she was too scared to see what the reality was, okay? She was too scared. See, when you say, why wouldn't they call 911? Well, she didn't, so now what are you saying? So here's the thing. Here's the thing, everybody. Here's the thing. Dylan did not call 911. Her phone was used to call 911 later, but she didn't call 911. And she didn't, so therefore, what are you saying? Go ahead. What are you saying after you realize that she didn't call 911? You see where the logic goes there? That means you're now thinking that she's involved somehow. And don't you just find that to be ludicrous? So once you put that out of your mind, just go, you know what? People just aren't all the same. People just aren't the same. That's just it. And you don't know what you would have done in the same situation, do you? Right? Like Candy Girl, she's just so, oh, I think Bethany, oh, yeah. I guarantee you don't know what you would have done in the same situation. You have this party house. There's some sounds that were weird enough that you looked out your door 3 times, and then you see this weird guy walking out, and maybe she saw even more, and you heard various sounds, and then you just shut your door, lock it, and you're probably just sitting in there going, oh my God, what do I do? But then you realize if you call the police, call 911, you're sort of finalizing something. And it turns out it's something else, it'll be weird. Right? Like it was nothing, and it's like, oh, I just thought something. And then she's too scared to walk out to look at it, because it's like, as soon as you... it's sort of like in a missing person case. You know, when your child's missing, the moment you call police to say, hey, my child's missing, and all of a sudden it becomes real at that moment. And she even said she was in, what was it? Like shock, something like, was it stone shock phase, or what was it? Not stoned. It was something shock phase. Can't remember the term. Yeah, frozen shock. There you go. Frozen shock phase. That's exactly right. Now, then you go, well, but how come she was still in frozen shock phase for hours? I could imagine she huddled up in there. She didn't want to create a scene, but she was also, God, that sounded bad. I don't know. And you wonder if she texted anybody, maybe. It's possible she tried texting people, hey, is everything okay? And nobody responded. And then she was like, oh, I don't want to get out of here. If I call 911, maybe it'll make a sound, and they're still listening through my door to see if I called 911 or something. And then finally, when the sun comes up later, the sun must have come up at, I don't know what time it came up, maybe 8, 9 in the morning. And maybe even then she doesn't say anything. And it's possible she actually fell asleep at one point when nobody came. She was putting off. And what about Bethany? Like, they both did the same thing, right? So what makes it... so that makes it less unusual. I mean, you have 2 people that had a similar reaction. But I think Dylan is the one that she heard and saw. She's probably going to be traumatized for the rest of her life. When would he have gone back for the sheath, Teresa? Yeah, we already said frozen shock phase. Yeah. It's not. If you use the word unalived again, I'm going to block you. Okay. I'm actually going to add the word unalived and whatever all the other bullshit terms that you guys like to use. I'm going to add it to the blocked words, and your comment will not make it into the chat. Okay? Don't you agree, though, Zozo? I mean, it's like, if you're the types that's going to type in unalived and essayed and all these little just ridiculous terms, I just go somewhere else, you know? I can't even imagine what Dylan and Bethany must be going through. It's easy for us to judge. Yep. Matter of fact, I couldn't even read after I saw the word unalived. I don't get here as often as I... Yeah, hey, look at this M22, the sniper rifle. What's going on? But when I do... And you're not a member anymore? Jeez, that's bad. But when I do, I remember why I still love this channel. There you go. There you go. I mean, I'm wondering how it became so normal to say unalive now. Like, you hear people on these panels, and they go out of their way to say it. Yeah, it could have been something like that, but maybe she didn't know, though, Teresa. She didn't know that Bethany was the only one still alive, I would imagine. Unless she texted people and she was like, yeah, I was down here. Yeah, it sounded crazy. We'll all get to hear why and what took so long. I mean, it's possible that she texted friends to come over. They got there. Then they went up and saw and went, oh, shit. And then they're the ones that called 911. And maybe it was the wording. Hey, there's somebody passed out. And maybe law enforcement took a little longer to get there. But wouldn't they have just known it wasn't passed out? Because they would have... I will not answer you because we differ from... Who's we and who the hell are you? I will not answer you because we differ from you in everything. Ooh. Well, so when you say we, does that mean you're a... you have schizophrenia or something? They don't, though, Candy. They don't do that. Those words do not get a channel demonetized. Yeah, that's... like, well, they can do it, I guess for live streams they can, but I've used it in all the videos that I make, and they get approved. And you know what's weird about last night's show, everybody? I said I made it monetized, and it made it all the way through the show. And I remember during the show last night, I said I used the words murder and suicide, and I said all these words about 15 times, and it still made it. Because guess what? Those are actual words. It's weird, I know. Yeah, my client went home, went with more living care. Happens with private care, unfortunately. Or they got a home. Money is good when it's there, but then suddenly it's not. Well, if we get $4.50 more cents in here, I'm going to give away 5 memberships. So, will that happen or will it not? We'll see. Yeah, it's... Anyone think I will be more than a year? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, red rum. And K-I-L-L-E-D. K-I-L-L-E-R. And here's a trigger bunny, you guys. Wow. You're good with whatever. Did somebody ask you, or? Yeah, I'm not into those words yet at all. But I'll tell you what. If you need a trigger bunny, we'll get one for you. You ain't no dummy. Here's my trigger bunny, honey. My tummy's feeling young. That is yummy. My tummy's feeling funny. Because I ate... what did I say? My tummy's feeling funny. Because I ate that trigger bunny. my tummy's feeling funny. Because I ate that trigger bunny. And it was yummy. It's in my tummy. And it's funny. Eating that trigger bunny. Eating the trigger bunny saw. Hey, thanks Danielle and Kathy Shiflett. Hey, here we go. We're going to give away the 5 channel members. Sorry for all my sniffling. Gray, that's not cool. You should turn off the mic when you sniffle. I don't want to, okay? It takes too much time. But it's really Okay. Here we go. Here we go. And boom! Did you make yourself available, M22? Did you make yourself available for a free membership? Probably not. Sincerely, Katie. Travelcado. Ida Montillo. Pickle. Lali. Or Laylee. There you go. Oh, God. My nose. That's right. Trigger Bunny, get in my belly! All right. Anybody else? Any thoughts out there? I did have a couple things that I randomly typed in. I just wanted to clear up the DNA thing. There is no... the only thing that the FBI may have done was sort of worked with one of the glitches. So the thing is that MyHeritage allows for raw file upload. Okay? It's the only one of the actual services out there that does that. Like, you can't upload a raw file up to Ancestry.com, but MyHeritage does. And then the publicly available databases like GEDmatch and Family Tree DNA, they take the raw data file, but MyHeritage has a much larger database. So it's possible that the FBI, their FGG expert, used that, but it's still just a lead. So what these people don't realize out on the internet when they go, oh my God, the FBI did it? It's just a setup. It's a setup. Ooh. No, see, currently, now police departments have their own FGG expert, and the FBI has one. And then you can also use private labs who have them, like Identifinders International. They have their own. That's what they do. That is what they do. And so should it be required that you use an outside, or can the law enforcement generate their own lead in cases with touch DNA or something? It seems totally logical to me that they would do it, right? Hey, look at that M22 anyways. The sniper rifle from back in the day. How long have you been watching? You've been around here since, like, Kanika Jenkins, right? I mean, at least. Beginning of Delphi. No, that's why I have the $1.91. Everyone can afford that one, right? Wait, hold on. I wanted to read the Muhammad one. Ah, forget. I don't want to read that one. Yeah, just hide that person. Jesus. I thought they were talking about the case earlier. Yeah. You find it odd that the FBI went to the witness's house to question her? No? I mean, why does it bother you? They probably went over there to say, hey, like, what are you trying to say here? We didn't do that, or, you know, or whatever. I don't know, you know, what they were saying to her. Did she come out and say what they were saying? Candy? I mean, maybe it's a little unorthodox, but it's not like, oh my God! Who are you talking to, Cindy? She didn't yell to the roommates to shut the F up because she thought they were making noise. Yeah, she didn't do that. Yeah. Where does that rumor come from? Where people say that Dylan yelled upstairs to get people to shut up. Where is that rumor coming from? Because that's not in the probable cause or anything. Well, you don't know what the meeting was about, Candy, do you? So it might not have been intimidation at all. They might have just been like, hey, so what are you... Like, what's your... You know, trying to figure out what she's actually saying. Because she was mentioning the shortcuts that people could take and what they're really trying to do. Let me just say, this is what the defense is doing. The FBI, I guess it's traditional when people create the work behind the scenes that led to the lead, they get rid of the information because it's like a whole bunch of other people's names in there, right? So they get rid of it, right? So what the defense is doing is they're trying to make this. So they bring up this expert with she's a little strange, you know, eccentric kind of, and she comes out and starts throwing out a bunch of crap, like, oh yeah, well there's these weird techniques that you can use behind the scenes. You can use this, you can do this, you can do this, and then what they're really doing is insinuating that that's what the FBI did, and now the FBI can't prove that they didn't do that because they've gotten rid of the work, if they really did get rid of that work behind it. Why would who say that, Linda? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. And she didn't do it because she's not law enforcement. She can see all the DNA profiles because she's not. Yeah, I mean, so she actually has worked for Identifinders before. Yeah, Dylan did not scream upstairs for everyone to shut up. Okay, that's just something that people put out there so they can start trying to put some more nefarious. Because where is that information? Wouldn't that have been on the 1122 King Road camera, or the 1112 King Road camera, or Queen Road, I guess, whatever the hell. I mean, the names they have wrong here. It's Queen Road is the one that. You go down right there. King Road is the, well, you can see it right here. This is King Road. This is Queen Road, but all of these homes used to be off of King Road. Because this one wasn't here. Okay, what is it, Justin? Because now I'm not going to see your next, Okie. Now I'm not going to see your next comment because you should have put it in the first one. He would have known she was there if she had yelled. Yeah, how do they know what they said, though, Acid Rain? How does News Nation know that Dylan yelled something to somebody? Hey, boob, I'm going to get rid of you. See you later. Let's see. That's one of the ones you just get rid of them right away. Let's see. She said that Dylan should be charged because she didn't call 911 quick enough. Take it easy. Maybe you didn't see my comment. Did she not open the door 3 times? I think she was scared. She wouldn't have opened the door 3 times. Why call 911 if she didn't think she needed to? What? I think she opened the door 3 times because something made her sound a little off, so she was checking on it. Huh? Well, there was people that showed up at the scene before cops, right? So they would have known. They'd be eyewitnesses to be able to tell you where people were. So if they ever spoke to anybody out there, they could tell you, oh yeah, Ethan was here and... Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if she was scared when she opens her doors, but she could have been a little bit like suspicious of the sounds. And she opens the door because they weren't normal sounds, you know. There's whimpering, crying sound. And then there was no more crying sound. And then the next thing she sees is Kohberger and his bushy eyebrows. I believe Dylan Mortensen has a ton of other information that she witnessed and heard. They just put what they needed to in the probable cause document. She's probably been interviewed in depth multiple times. Yeah, that's what they always say. A source close to the investigation. A source close to the investigation. Man, you guys don't even let me read the comments. They're just gone. Bub was correct. You only say what you say because she was a girl. And she was in shock. That doesn't make it an excuse. Lives could have been saved. No, they couldn't have been, you fool. Okay? Lives could not have been saved. They were all killed with knives and quickly. And no lives would have been saved. There was nobody still alive for a long period of time. Yeah. And that's not true at all. If it was a guy, I'd say the same damn thing. Yeah, it's a good point there, another old GHI freak. She said, how dare we not arrest the dog? Well, I would, for one, I mean, why not euthanize it? It didn't bark enough to get people to come over, and I think we're overlooking the culpability of Murphy. I think Murphy is almost purely responsible for the deaths there, because had it really fought a little harder, it could have made a big difference, and I think we need to look into that. Now, if it was a pit bull, I sure as hell would want something bad, you know. These people are crazy, Jesus. Yeah. How many of you will feel ashamed of yourselves for blaming Dylan for the murders? The ones that think they're involved, when we find out they have absolutely nothing to do with it. Will you be ashamed of yourself? Because you're not using any common sense or reason. You're just saying, oh, she didn't call 911 quick enough. Now, I don't mind if you theorize about it, but when you make comments, it never comes out like that. You know, it's always, it sounds accusatory. That's the difference. There's a big difference. That's right. Feel ashamed and then leave the true crime community because you give the rest of us a bad name. They would be in jail right now if they were involved, period. Yep. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that obvious? That they would have been able to find something like that out. I think one of the enigmas for me, the thing I want to really know more about, is the precise time that the DoorDash driver guy got there. Because I actually think that the DoorDash driver is the reason that the pass number 3 and 4, between 3 and 4, and then 4 itself is a little different, is because that vehicle was there. Because they must have that on camera. I mean, it has to be on this camera coming around right here. Although it's also possible. You know what's also possible, you guys? I don't know if you guys realize this, but who here has a Ring doorbell camera? Put a 1 if you've got a Ring doorbell camera. And if you have a Ring doorbell camera, after it records motion, what's the time after the motion where it stops and it won't record another motion for? You can set that time. What is it generally, though? You know how it does a motion, a recording, and then after that it won't record another one right away? It's like a minute or two or something? What do you think? It's not spyware. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Anyways, the how many minutes? Anybody have the answer for that? Yeah, so you can set it though, right? Like 30 seconds or so. So here's something that might be interesting to take a look at here. Here, let me go look at this again. Hold on. I think it's possible that Kohberger made it so that the white Elantra, I mean not the white, the DoorDash driver was not recorded on that video. Okay, that's what I think. What the hell is this? Oh, the Olympics. All right, hold on. Let me get to the one where let me get the video that has the loops in it. Yeah, the unlucky Kohberger one right here. Right here, look at it. So see this? Where's the one that, okay, 357 right here. See this, you guys? So here it comes. So I already made it around. So 356 and 57 seconds, 357, and here it comes around the corner, right? And then, right then it drives around like this, probably gets over here at 358, but I always think it sits here for a minute or two and looks at the house, right? And then right around 4 it turns and goes like this, and it sets off the Ring doorbell camera. And then it records for, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. And then it drives away. Then the DoorDash comes in, but it's not ready to go again. That the DoorDash driver got there just in that little window of time where it's not ready to detect a new motion, right? So then it drives in and parks in here, and it's not on the camera, but surely when it was leaving, it would have been picked up on one. Why do you think the defense would say that they think Bethany is exculpatory? Because they just want to say it. They're just saying Bethany, they just want to talk to her and see if they can find some other information. I don't know why. They can do whatever they want. Candy, I mean, you assign way too much meaning to everything. A lot of times they're just fishing expeditions. I want to speak to Bethany. Let's see if she has some information that... The Dasher? I don't think so. The one at 425 when Kohberger's car left at 420, so he just happened to be... He sat around for 5 minutes after Kohberger drove away? I don't think so. I'm hoping they get rid of the gag order, and then we can hear from people. And I am, to be honest with you, I don't know why a gag order is even legal. That seems like an absolute... It's not like it's a trial. It's, you're keeping people from exercising their First Amendment rights. And I don't know, it's just strange. You know, somebody sent me this information, and it was also on Court TV with Vinny the other day. It's a pretty interesting one. Is that the one you're talking about, the cop case? Is that the one that you're talking about? Where the wife's... He's a police officer. They say she ran over him after she dropped him off, but he wasn't even outside. Apparently his watch and everything shows that he was moving around because she was dropping him off to go to a party. And then they find him the next morning dead, just right there in the middle of the street, and they blame it on the wife when she dropped him off. That's a really weird one. I might have to take a look at that a little deeper. I don't think so. I don't know, Cindy. I don't think she did. There's some information out there that's like, it's crazy stuff. Like, what was the... Oh, yeah, the lady in the house where the party was searching for how long does it take for a body to die out in the, in the cold before they even found the body sitting around. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know. That's one of those ones that I think we should take a look at that one. Yeah, how long to die in the cold, yeah. Finding what believable? Acid rain. Mm-hmm. What were the other things too? I mean, there was multiple very powerful exculpatory... Oh yeah, they said that she broke her back light, but earlier there's footage of her backing up and hitting another car that was parked. And so that would have done it. That Bryan... What? What do you mean that Bethany saw Bryan leave the house? What are you talking about? How could she have seen him leave the house? Did she walk up the stairs? Because he left through the sliding glass door. And that wouldn't be exculpatory. It would be an eyewitness. Well, go find it, Cindy. Well, I think the PCA in that one might not show the whole story because, like, everybody in the house are cops, and it looks like he was, like, beaten up or something. And they're saying, I mean, I have to see it all, but in this case, the defense has factual information using Celebrite off of cell phones that are absolutely... It shows that the husband is moving around after she left in the house and everything, going upstairs, moving around. And then there's also the part about a search inside the home on Celebrite that said, how long does it take for a body to die of exposure, something like that. And that's how like he was found dead outside. I don't know. I'd have to... The probable cause in this case, though, wouldn't put that stuff in there. I guarantee it. So it's this is one of those ones where you'd have to have a little bit more information. Yeah, see the thing, that's one that's weird too, because if there's a cover-up situation with police, which is really rare, then the PCA isn't going to be good. But when you have a case that there's nothing, like this case, the Bryan Kohberger case, there's no reason to, there's no cover-up. It's just, it's Bryan Kohberger. This is why we believe it's him. Let's see. Are often simply victims of sadistic brainwashers who push their own stupid... Yeah. That is one of the weird parts. You know the trolls that show up in here on a nightly basis with their just juvenile comments over and over about how Kohberger is innocent? They didn't come up with this on their own thinking. Like, they didn't sit around and go, I've been working through this. What they did was they sat on another YouTuber's channel and listened to them rant and rave, and of course, because they're a YouTuber, my God, this is all real shit that they're telling me. And the difference is on this channel, I use things like the probable cause and the factual pieces of information that are known to develop reasonable theories. Okay, I don't come up with random, crazy stuff. But that is what is going on, right? They say that because if Bethany Funk says anything different than Dylan Mortensen, they can try to say inconsistent stories and try to discredit Dylan Mortensen's statement. Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a good thought. I like that one. Trying to see if if it's different than Dylan Mortensen, then that's sort of exculpatory because, who do we believe? It takes her whole statement out of play. And yet, you know what's funny, everybody? Dylan Mortensen's statements aren't really that important. Okay, the only thing that she added that we know of right now is the bushy eyebrow part. That's it. That's the only element that's like, oh my God, that's Bryan Kohberger. The rest of them are just things she heard and whatnot. And, the camera picked up some of that audio too. So she has a lot of detail probably inside that house. However, I think forensically, he's toast. I mean, when they start putting out all the information that's on those phones, and yeah, it's not going to be pretty. No, it can't be, Becky. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Could that be her walking around with his phone? Can I ask what the hell you're talking about, please? Yeah. Every time I leave a comment on BK, I get a bunch of trolls saying he didn't do it. Isn't that weird? How they're so feverish about it? Hot Pockets and Mountain Dew. Oh yeah, I forgot these ones. Hold on. Oh yeah, so I did have, the ones that I have were not enough time to stab 4 people. Well, there's definitely way more than enough time to stab 4 people and kill them. I think that you could do it in half the time of, I think 4 minutes, probably. Well, you don't take into account the battling. I do, though. I do. That's the thing. So even if somebody fought back, a man that's totally sober, awake, he's fit, strong, he's got a K-bar knife in his hand, probably likely was holding it with something that's sticky, and he's just got, and these people are all buzzed and out of it and just zombies. You know how people are at night after you've been drinking? And he could have just easily done it. So even if you fought back, it's not going to be very good, he just easily could have killed them in that time. And then one of the other comments, the roommates contaminated or cleaned the crime scene. What proof do you have of that? That they contaminated and cleaned the crime scene? The FBI and cops have drilled them both. If they were guilty, they'd be in jail. I know, it's crazy, right? What are well, the reason they want them to be guilty is so that they can free Bryan Kohberger, because they love the guy. I mean, isn't Bryan Kohberger, like when you were in high school, isn't he the guy that you always wanted to be friends with? Good looking, charming, just I'm being sarcastic. Let's see.
Cops have drilled them both. If they were guilty, they would be in jail. Why do people want the girls to be guilty instead of the killer?
I don't know. And then another comment, the roommates did it and the DNA is bad. What do you mean the DNA is bad? Yeah, it is bad for Kohberger. That's definitely true. I'll agree with that. It sounds like they were both freaked out to walk around in that a clean up much. And clean up much. Yeah. I know, but you want questions answered that aren't really important, Candy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You want these little mundane things answered that are these sort of things on the side that aren't the absolute big picture obviousness of everything else. So you want the answers to, like, man, but seriously, I mean, Bethany normally wears black shoes. Why? How come today she put the white ones on? I'm just curious because there was blood on the floor, so why would she put the... And it's like, I don't know. Who cares? You know, it doesn't matter. Bryan Kohberger is the killer, everybody. Here, I'll do the quick synopsis again. It's really simple. Here it is. Watch this. At 2:42, his cell phone was pinging right here at his residence. And it was using a specific cell tower while he was at home at 2:42. Then at 2:47, however, his cell phone pinged in a different location. What does that mean? That means his phone has left his house. It wouldn't just shift towers while he's sitting in a bedroom. Okay? He's sitting in his apartment. It's not shifting towers. It does shift towers when he gets closer to another tower. Therefore, he was moving at 2:42. He comes down here, and then he drives up this street right here. I think he might have even parked in one of these. And then and that was at 2:44, he turns up here. And I think he sat in here and he sort of prepped for his final journey into Moscow, Idaho. Yes, that's me speculating. But I do know that 3 minutes after he made the turn up this road right here, that he turned his phone off at 2:47. He turned it off because he knew where he was going next. He didn't want it on. Does that make sense to everybody? Can you think of another reason that at 2:47 in the morning he'd be driving and decide to turn his phone off over here? What would he do that for? Well, he didn't want people to call him Gray. He's a really desired man and people call him all the time and he just wanted to hang out. Just ask yourself, why did he turn that off at 2:47? Anybody? Because he didn't want it on. Then and that's when he turned his phone off. So he might have sat there for a few more minutes, still preparing, planning, while his phone is off. And then at, I think it was 2:53 right there. Yeah, he comes down this road and, you know, either he went like this or like this one, which is probably more likely. He gets on the highway 270 there. And I don't know what he was doing when he got into town. Did he stop somewhere? Because there is a little bit of a missing time at 3:26 right here. So he leaves 53. It only takes like 15 or 20 minutes. So there's like 10 minutes of missing time. So maybe stopped over here somewhere, did some more, made sure one last time, a double check of something. And then at 3:26, the same vehicle that they saw on cameras. So again, let me go back over here again. So right here, this at 2:44 right here and 2:53, those are all visual sightings on a camera. It's his vehicle, suspect vehicle 1. The 2:47 was his phone being turned off in this area because that's the last time it pinged. It actually pinged at 2:47, and that was the last time it pinged in the area. So then he exits, goes down here. There's like 10 or 15 minutes of missing time. Then at 3:26, he's right here, and we know it's him, and I'll show you why. Suspect vehicle 1 drives by right here, and I've showed you before. You go down the street view here, you look at it, and there's the camera right on this house right here. There it is, okay? Then he continues down that road, and that time is 3:26. And then at 3:28, just 2 minutes later, totally consistent with that. See that distance right there? Boom. And as a matter of fact, just to prove This is what I'm going to do right here. Watch this. Google Maps. Google Maps. And I'll show you this. And you'll go, wow, okay. Because I do this all the time on these, just so that I know things are accurate. Alright, so this is Indian Hills Drive. Get into Moscow, Idaho. I think I can just find it here. Yeah, right there in that corner. There it is. Indian Hills Drive. Yeah, there it is. One, two, three. Yeah, there it is. Okay, right here. Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. So driving directions. Right here. And then to okay, it goes round and up, and then I'm just looking for this spot here. Yeah, Steiner. Okay, right there. There. And then A and W. What happened? Oh, I had it just totally fixed. Oh man. Get directions from. Okay. I'm going to put the driving distance. There you go. Indian Hills. It's just taking me way too long to do this, but it's right there. Okay, 1. And then A and W. Get on to Steiner. And there's A and W. Okay. Is that the one? Yeah. Okay. Bing, 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 bing. Okay. So here we go. It's very close to the amount of time. So this one says 3 minutes, but it's only 0.9 miles. So you can easily do that in 2 minutes if you wanted to. It's 0.9 miles. That's if you drive exactly the speed limit. You know how they give you 15 or 20? So there it is, 3 minutes, right? So here we go, 3:26, and they have it at 3:28. Now it could be 3:28 and 40 seconds. They usually cut off the second part. So it's very consistent. Don't you agree that it's 3 minutes to there from right here if you're driving the speed limit? It's only 0.9 miles though. If you drive, let's see, if you drive 60 miles an hour, it would take you 1 minute. If you drive 30 miles an hour, it would take 2. Most people drive 30 on streets like this. Don't you agree? So anyways, that is absolutely consistent with that car driving by that house. Then right here, it drives by the A&W restaurant, missing its front license plate. That camera picked it up. Hey, Cindy, you're paying attention? So it drives by right here at 3:28, missing its front license plate. Then it comes around up here and it enters this area at 3:30. And I think 3:29 even. So watch, we can do that now too. We can take add a destination. Let's see. Go right to the house. We won't even do the house. We'll just put it right here. And so that whole trip is 5 minutes, they say. And that's driving the speed limit. So that puts it in here at 5:31, which is almost exactly what they said, They said 5:30. So then it comes around, and it goes back here, and it goes back there 3 times. And it does it 3 damn times. But I think one of the key things is right after the A&W here, missing its license plate, the same vehicle is going this way, and they know that. They know it's the suspect vehicle, and this camera will show it. This one right here, this camera right here, if I have it. I don't think I still have it open anymore. It's going to show you exactly when the car goes by that it's missing a front license plate. And then it does all the loops, and at the end, the 4th loop, after it does the turns, the 3-point turns and everything, it comes back around, and it pulls into here at 4:08, and it sits there probably for, he's looking, waiting and watching again, preparing too, probably taking the steps to mitigate the blood exposure. And then he goes into the house probably around 4:10, and then he's leaving the house at 4:17. But the thing is the white Elantra is right here at 4:08, and it's seen speeding away at 4:20. So what was Bryan Kohberger doing in those 12 minutes? Was he just sitting in his car like the One Channel suggested? I said it sarcastically one time, that he was sitting there as a peeping Tom. Or is Bryan Kohberger the killer? Well, you go, I don't know, I'm just not sure. Well, his DNA was found on the sheath inside that apartment. Bryan Kohberger is the killer, everybody. And I, for one, don't have any doubt whatsoever, just based on that information. Even if you got rid of the sheath, I would say the circumstantial evidence that Bryan Kohberger in his white Elantra are parked right there for 12 minutes, where exactly the time when 4 people were murdered, is enough to say, there would be no reasonable doubt there. That'd be stupid to go, well, I think he was there as a peeping Tom, Gray, and then somebody else went in and killed while he was a peeping. What a shitty night that was at that apartment, right? At that house. What a horrible night, everybody. That night, on November 13th, that morning on November 13th, 2022, there was a wacko peeping Tom, doing whatever he's doing in that car, watching those girls through the window. And while he's doing that, another psycho shows up that he had no clue about and killed everybody in there. Isn't that amazing? Whew. Wow. There's probably so much blood on the sheath that taking it probably risk track. Well, we don't know if there was any blood on the sheath at all. Although somebody made a good point the other day saying that his touch DNA and the blood on the sheath made it a mixture, and therefore they only single source DNA that they found was his underneath the button. Now, it seems like if they have his DNA, they should be able to, even with the mixture, say that yes, one of the mixtures is a male, and it is consistent with his DNA on the, whatever they were able to extract from the mixture. Yeah, these people that care about, wow, they said 3:45. It was or 2:45 or 1:45. It was actually 2 o'clock. Oh my God. They said that the murders were around 3:30. I never even remember that part where they said the murders were around 3. Do you guys remember that when they said the murders were around 3? I don't remember it. He orchestrated the DNA rebuttal. What was that? I mean, how about his alibi? Oh yeah, I drive around. Yeah. I won't say where, but yes, I drive around late in the morning. And on that particular day, yes, I was driving around late at night and into the early morning hours. Yep, I sure was. Well, aren't you admitting then that is your vehicle? Because it's the same suspect vehicle that they tracked to all those locations. Yeah. And they had that white Elantra for a long time, too. I mean, right at the get-go, first night. But anyways, all right, you guys, I think that's going to do it. You guys are just off in La La Land. I can see nothing's related to anything that I'm talking about. So anyways, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And thank you to Teresa Murray and Iris Rainbow upgraded. Thank you very much. K-Me. Connie Lowe became a new member. Kathy Friedmaker. Simply Me. Annabelle Stealth. K-Me. Your Gypsy. Circa Then. Joel Sane. AC with a donation. Darcy Swanson. Tammy Morell. Tony Ejoir. Tumbleweed with a cat eye. Allie 79. Cindy Leon. CR Eugenie. Georgina Stoliker. Allie 79. Jason Freer. Aaron. Annabelle Stealth with a cat eye. Craig. T-Cell Logic. Cindy J. Daphne. Kit Kat. Cindy Leon. K-Me. Lisa Valenzuela, 6 months. Cindy Leon, 37. Danny ICURN. Nikki Zubs, 8 months. Aaron. Another old GHI freak, 22 months. Liz W. Danielle. Kathy Shiflett. Liz W. Gray Hughes Investigates. Gifted 5 membership. M22 with new membership. Christy Kazi. Yeah, I thought that was fun. I always it makes me a little down when people go, "God, Gray, can we cover the cold? Are you gonna do a cold? How about I can just do what I want some nights? You know." The turnout when I cover cold cases is really low too. So, you know, sometimes you gotta do what's best for your channel. But I like to cover the cold cases. It's just that you guys don't support me as much when I cover those, which is frustrating as hell. I got to be honest with you. Hey, thanks, another old GHI freak. Yeah, I think what's important is to just have a place where people can rationally discuss it. You know. Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. That'd be good if the same FBI guy's in there. And they're going to probably be able to tell you exactly where Kohberger's phone was to like a crazy degree. Because when that probable cause document, while they used CAST, likely didn't have the Celebrite stuff going on and all the other information that you can get off those phones and various things. I mean, I bet you they have it dialed in. I bet it's so complete at this point where they shared that information with the defense, and that's why they said, ooh, yeah, we don't want a speedy trial anymore. We're going to need some more time, everybody. Doesn't that seem more logical? Let's see. And also thank you to Bronwyn and Christy and also Plato earlier in the day on PayPal there. Thank you. If not now, if not, how do you know the car on tape? What do you mean, Danny? Can you see the tapes of the car anywhere? I have the tapes of the car on the 1330 Linda Lane camera. It's on camera right there. You're aware of that footage, right? Completely authenticated. That is that night. It is at that time, and it shows all 4 of the loops that are mentioned in the probable cause. What do they call it? The passes. It shows all 4 of them. It's right there, plain as day. It does exactly what they said it did in the probable cause document. Turns around at 500, behind 500 Queen Road, number 32. Does exactly what they say. Then it drives back down to the 3-point turn at Queen and King. Then it goes back around. And it did the same loop it did all the other times. And then this time, though, it parked for 12 minutes. Because at 408 it gets back there. 420 it disappears. I don't think people realize the significance of that. The A&W. And then when he turned his phone. So again, there's one last part here, everybody. So he got back here at 408. And at 420, his car is speeding away. That means the white Elantra was there for 12 minutes. And it's Bryan Kohberger's white Elantra. Then you might go, well, that doesn't mean he was there. Well, yeah, I guess. But circumstantially, the fact that his phone pinged right here, just 28 minutes later, right there, west of Blaine, Idaho, he turned his phone on. Then he left it on the whole way around until it got back in to Pullman, Washington at around 5:30. This ping right here is massive because then it puts his phone with, well, now, so here's another thing too, guys. This ping right here is huge because it puts his phone in a trajectory leaving Moscow, Idaho. But it doesn't mean that the white Elantra is connected to that phone at this point, right? So you go, yeah, that's weird, yeah. So he turns his phone on. But guess what? Right here on this road, he's driving up and the white Elantra is seen at 5:25, and then his phone pings again in Pullman, Washington here. See, you see, when you put all that together, you just go, yeah. So it's his white Elantra, his cell phone. It's missing the front license plate. Ah, man, I wish other people that were following it really understood it. It's just kind of sucks. Yeah, that's what I think, Alan. I think the circumstantial evidence, even without the knife sheath, he's toast. Unfortunately, people just kind of go, yeah, I don't know, Gray, what about the guy? What about Kopaka, Gray? What about the one with the... What about the... It drives me nuts, okay? This is so obvious. This isn't even really one of those ones where you go, man, I'm just not sure. I don't know, man. If you're not sure, then there's something wrong with your brain. I just got to tell you. Yeah, that's right. I threw out that scenario, Alan, one time. So it was really, what it was another person, somebody that knows Kohberger, stole his vehicle one night and then while Kohberger was sleeping, rubbed his finger on the knife sheath. Then he drove over there because he wanted to do the killing but pin it on somebody else. So he drove all the way over there and then he killed the girls and Ethan, and then he drove back, and he was such a kind person. He drove back and he gave back the vehicle to Kohberger. And his phone, too. He took his phone when he did the drive. It was weird. So he took Kohberger's phone and his vehicle, did the killing, then he drove all the way back. Yeah, that's good stuff. Really, really kind killer. Brought his car back and his phone. Let's see. Again, Bryan Kohberger, the unluckiest person that's ever lived. Man, I feel sorry for him. Hey, what do you guys think of this? Doesn't this look pretty real? Watch it. Man, that hurts. Man, when you bite that hard, it makes that kind of sound. Wow. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, yeah, he definitely is the most unlucky person that there ever was. Yeah. Yeah, ouch indeed. Ouch indeed. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being here tonight and helping reach the goal so we can keep doing what we're doing. We have, for those people that are randomly here that don't really give a shit, we have donated $168,100 from the income from the channel since January 2020 and $41,350 this year. And so far this year, we've given the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children 5250, RAIN 5250, that's Violence Against Women, Innocence Project 2000, Texas Equisearch 4850, Black and Missing 2500, Indigenous Vision 500, Project Recovery 1000, Wounded Warrior 1500, and our DNA Fund 13,500. Can I get a boom? All right. Yeah, and the only way that happens is every night we just have, just like this, we can do it. And some nights are way better, so it makes up for other nights. Like tonight's just sort of a, somewhat average night. But we've had nights where there's like 500-600 in there, and then there's another night where you have like 100 and 200, then you average those two out, and then it's decent, right? That's right, missing a front license plate, because in Pennsylvania they don't need front license plate, but in Pullman, Washington, they need a front license plate. But he still didn't have his. He was about to get his, so he thought he would do the killing just before he needed to change his plates and give him another layer of invisibility, he thought. All right, anyways, thank you guys very much. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, don't forget the day show tomorrow. We're going to finish off that coroner's inquest on the Hart family. Okay, it's more interesting because they start talking about, what happened that day and what was purchased and things like that. Thank you, Keep It Simp. Yeah, we've done that since January 2020. That amount that you're seeing there. And one of these days, we're going to get to $250,000. I think probably at the end of next year, there's a possibility that this channel would have given away $250,000. And of course, that comes from all of your generous support to the channel. But wouldn't that be amazing? That'll be like a big day. I think that's what we need to have, some sort of a, virtual party or some shit like that. Because at the end of this year, we should be at, I don't know. Let's see. If we get to, we could get to if we get to 60, then it's possible, because that would be, we'd be at like one. I got it. Maybe what about 188, 190, and then we'd have to do 62 or something next year, and that would be, we might be able to do it. Who knows? We'll see. That would be pretty amazing, though. And Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick's probably going to come on Thursday next week and talk about all of the cases that we're currently working on, and then maybe we'll talk about, this whole DNA issue in the Kohberger case. You can shed some light on it. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And
good night, everybody. I didn't get to say a word tonight.
You did too. Earlier you were talking about, I can't remember what it was about, but you mentioned something.
Oh yeah, I don't remember either. Yeah.
If you try and play me like an old projector, crime sector is my
Fine actor, Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector.
You know what's weird, Mary Lou? Your nose sounds stuffed up too.
It does?
Yeah. You have a cold, Mary Lou?
With a vector on his pector, with all respect, y'all. Just remember, I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without a blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later. Hey, I was just wondering, Mary Lou, did you notice that you also have a stuffed nose? You seem to have a lot of the same ailments the same time I do.
Yeah, I don't know why my nose is stuffed too. I must have the same cold you do.
Well, I don't have a cold, I have allergies because this stuff comes out of the vent over here and gets in my nose.
Okay, maybe I have an allergy too.
Yeah, but how are you getting an allergy? Like what, you're not really breathing anything in.
What do you mean I'm not breathing anything in?
Oh, they didn't. Oh, wait, never mind.
What are you saying, Ray?
What he's saying is you're not real, Mary Lou. You're a computer.
What do you mean I'm a computer? I'm not a computer.
Are you okay, Mary Lou?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Had to get the cry out, though. Had to get the cry out.
Oh my god. Do you guys hear that? That didn't even sound real, did it? Alright, we'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.
Be safe out there. You're not very nice, Craig.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
They do?
Yes, they do.
When do they say it?
Every single day.
Why do you think they say that?
Because I'm so mean!
Oh. Okay, good night, Gray.
Okay, see you later, Mary Lou. Wow. That's weird. That was weird shit. Alright, see ya.
And some of you, you make shit up.
Wow, that's perfect. That was a perfect thing for this night.
And some of you, you make shit up.
Evil can never be dead enough. You know, that's just one step above stupid. Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains? This guy may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? Did you hear what I said? There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp. 5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
Huh? It's a house!
Doing a little bunny skipper!
Okay, bye. Bitch, please.
Dude. Oh my god, awkward.
Drama.
Are you angry at me?
Don't ask dumbass questions.
And Grits for Brains here shoots him. Did you hear what I said?
Breaking up is hard to do.
That would fall under the category of something bad.
Yeah, I don't have that ooh la la song for some reason. It's not loaded up. Can't do it tonight, you guys. Oh well. Anyways, we'll see you guys later. And be safe.